Hello, welcome back to Kogo Studios Remnant Lunar Archon. No, we weren't talking about Doctor Who. What were you talking about? Anyway, session 100. Woohoo! We made it! We're still alive!
Whoa.
Let's see if we can finish the
Yay.
campaign in the next, 30 sessions. We'll see. Probably not, but who knows, man. Knowing this group. Let's see, did I note? Okay, Chris did the recap last time, I think? Or was last time also this time?
Well,
No, it wasn't last. Okay, he did it the previous time. We haven't done one for last times yet because we were fresh jaw on last time, but it didn't actually occur. So Sam, want to give the recap?
I am opening Fantasy Grounds at the moment. I don't have my notes, but I know we were in town.
What did we do before we were in town?
Wait. Oh yeah, we didn't play last week, did we?
No.
nope.
Okay.
We just talked about playing.
Oh yeah. So we fought a Grimm, a Beholder, and we ought to be known as fire people because we all hit it with fire, I think. And Gambit did an awesome no look 360 no scope.
Eyes closed.
And then we inspected it after we killed it, and we thought it was like a suicide bomber type situation, but we didn't know if we were the target. And then we kept going to Tough, I think.
Tough. TUF.
Yeah. And then we found lodging and Ticket went to a shop and brought back a list of stuff that we were going to buy, or that we could buy. And I feel like there was more to it, but I don't remember.
They could also bought a flower. A Yara flower. From...
And I made a bestie.
Yeah, Thessaly Glintmore. The moon elf druid who works and owns the Pale Spiral. Party also found their way to the Weary Stallion, a large inn and tavern. Seems to be fairly popular in the town. Lots of people are there, even on
Slow days like Monday and
Sunday, the 30th of July at 9 p.m. The walls are painted with various scenes, murals, mostly of what seems to be a war. There are some that are like different horse races and things. Some of the scenes from the war largely appear to have to do with a group made mostly of orcs, but also of other races and species. And then the other, one main one has Queen Estrella riding in on a dark brown horse against these orcs. Then on one wall has a large number of horseshoes hung on it, each of which seem to have something written on it, but no one's taken the time to look closely. There's an old satyr woman who seems to be the owner, or at least head of the location, as the party had come in, gotten their dinner. As it is 9 p.m., what would you like to do? There is someone already performing in the inn.
Yeah, I bardically inspired him.
How well is he performing?
He's doing all right. Not as good as y'all, but he rolled like a 16. He's doing pretty good.
All right. Then I definitely don't want to show him up, because that would just be, that's beneath a good, artist. A proud, arrogant artist might do that. But that is definitely not the goal here. I'll throw 4 silver to the stage. With his performance.
Well, not appreciatively as he continues.
Looking around. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm in like a bit of a hazy state. Last thing I remember, we slew that beast, and now I'm just kind of realizing we're listening to someone else play music. It's weird. It's like I fell asleep or something.
You sure you haven't had too much to drink, Grant?
It's possible. Is this like drow port or some kind of dwarven whiskey or something?
I don't know. It's got alcohol in it, so I'm drinking it.
Gnomish tequila. You know. As long as it's not goblin vodka, that thing's. I'm pretty sure that's half urine. Anyway, all right. Well, it's great. Thanks for doing research and finding out what the town's all about, what we've got going on. Looks like we'll have to do a little bit of shopping before we leave tomorrow. We're leaving tomorrow, right? I'm sorry. I really feel out of it.
I don't think we were planning on staying any longer on that day.
Great. So yeah, we'll have to head out tomorrow after a quick swing by the shop.
Micah, I forget. Did we get rooms?
I do believe you got rooms. I recall one of you paying money for rooms. I think it was Sam.
I don't remember.
All right. Well, was there anything
got
that
enough
I
money? Someone pay like 2 gold.
Make Doug do it. I'm just kidding.
Sure, Doug would say.
I got it.
Yeah,
I already
good.
did it. I already
Okay.
did it.
I mean, what do you think Doug would notice if 200 copper just disappeared out of his inventory?
My purse is substantially lighter.
That's true. That's like
Come on, that'd be something Doug would notice.
it is
He
like
might not
4
notice
pounds or
gold.
something.
He might not notice 2 gold, but he might notice 200 copper.
Yeah, it's simply because of the 4 pound weight difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which he is substantially close to his maximum carry weight, but he still hasn't hit it.
I've had to convert a bunch of my money because I was very much over my carry limit in copper at one point.
Yeah, and you gave me your backpack.
Did anyone else hear over his carry women?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I did. I was
I'm glad I wasn't the only one. I was like, what?
Over his Carrie women. Okay, he's over women who are named Carrie. All right.
Okay.
Who wants blonde? All right. Well, you know what, John? That's nice to know. Glad to learn that about you. You have a fancy for women, Carrie. Okay. So yeah, I'm sorry. Is there anything that I should know that may have happened that while I was like in my weird, not fully present state? Is there magic I to identify? Is there anything I should investigate? Anything?
Nope. We've just been relaxing.
I took a look around the room, but my eyes were kind of exhausted from navigation all day, so I didn't really get a good look.
Can tell you one thing. I fought in that battle, and that battle, and that battle. As John is pointing to the pictures on the wall.
Nice.
Notably, you did not fight in the battle that has Australia on it. That one must have happened later in the war.
Must have.
All right. Well, yeah. Then Garon's kind of like looking around the room, trying to get a read on anything of note.
Yeah. You notice there are basically no orcs or half-orcs here. You only notice that because there are so many on the murals, but you see no one in the building. But you would see the wall of horseshoes. Each of them has a name written on it. A different name.
Oh.
That's cool.
Can I go inspect that and see if that's a similar sort of thing to like the wall of missing heroes or whatever?
You can go read it, but without asking someone what the context is. You don't see any like plaques or anything. Just a wall of names.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll ask the bartender.
Yeah. He he'd be able to confirm that, yeah, that all of those names are riders who died during the war.
I told you. Dead people.
It's nice that they're being honored. That's good. Is it a problem? I suppose orcs and the like aren't particularly welcome here. I mean, they're not my favorite. You know, they tend to be a little bloodthirsty, but
Things have mended over the years to an extent, but there are still quite a few people in town who were mistreated by the Orc Lord, or fought against them during the war, who might still have some bad blood memories. So they don't tend to stick around tough, but you can find them in other places in Vacuole, orcs and half-orcs. They won't be harshly mistreated or anything. No one attacking them in the streets, but they get looks, and people sometimes don't want to talk to them on occasion, if only because of their memories. But just here, I think.
Okay, well, I mean, this isn't completely unrelated, but it's rather different. Out of curiosity, who was in charge of the city of Nace at the time of the war?
Nice.
Yeah, you know, I mean, do you know the different lords of the places? You know.
I can't say I know who it would be at that time.
Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, just curious thoughts is all. He's right now. Garon's kind of eyeballing the murals to see if there's any sort of hint that maybe, just maybe, that Dream Lord is hidden away in one of them.
Make an investigation
Because
check.
he has his. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say he has his own mind made up about something, and he's not tried to put that on anybody else just yet, but maybe.
You don't spot any lore. Oh, actually, you do spot one lore. Well, yeah, one lore that you recognize. You don't see a lot of lords in the murals. You don't know if they were told to stay out of it or just stayed out of it. You don't see any that you would recognize, if at all, on the orc side. You do see, standing upon a hill in the background of one of the, of the mural with Estrella with a staff held out, is a small figure with a large witch's hat.
Aw, there she is. Our friend. Yeah, it's fine. I expected her to be on that side, so that's fine.
But you wouldn't see any others. Not that you'd recognize, at least.
All right. Do you have any town historians or librarians or anybody that may be so inclined to know things like what was the favorite fruit in Coquina during the time of the war? You know, and other weird historical facts. If you need me to deceive, because I'm definitely trying to lead away from my original question, let me know.
Make a deception check.
All right. Oh yeah.
There are plenty of people who lived through Tufts history and old records before then. Though admittedly, the Orc Lord did destroy it. Well, a number of records, whether intentionally or otherwise, were destroyed during the war. I don't think we have any hearsayers, know-it-alls that you would be talking about. Nothing like that. No random bits of information, especially not about other cities, the towns.
No, one-armed veterans who just sit in the pub drinking and want to tell everybody their stories, and who seem the glory days of the war, blah blah, nothing like that.
Oh, I mean, sure, we have those. Like Ayla over there, this who will point to a male elf who does have a scar along his shoulder and down his arm, talking with people and drinking. We've got a number of old veterans, but not that would tell you about Coquina.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just interested in all the little strange bits of history. All right, well, if anybody comes to mind, please let them know. We're planning on leaving tomorrow. I would love to pick their brain before we do. But if not, it's fine. Thank you for your help. And I will pass a silver to the Tender's Way for humoring me and talking it out.
Well, if you go up to Ayla, buy him a drink. He'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Great. Do you know what one of his favorites are?
He mostly gets ale, but I know he's fond of whiskey.
Great. I would love to.
Shots, glasses, bottles.
Just a highball. Just a glass is fine.
That'll be gold and a half. 15 silver.
Sounds good. Here you go, mate. And I'll give him 5 silver tip. So 2 gold.
Nice. He will pocket those and pour you 2 sizable glasses of whatever kind of whiskey this is. This fairly amber-colored drink.
It's fine. So I'll give it a sniff on my way over to him.
It's strong. I don't know if Garon's the type to drink hard liquor, but strong.
I've got a 14 con, so it might be okay. But
in that case, you'd be able to probably pick up on some of the very, very woodsy notes to it. Probably aged in barrel with additions. You even get a hint of a bittery, almost charcoal scent to it. So it's probably burned barrels. There are definitely some spices in there as well. In particular, you get hints of cinnamon and vanilla. But you imagine if someone couldn't see past the alcohol, they wouldn't notice any of those things.
Fair enough. Well, that's fine. Yeah, I'll head over to him and say, I heard you like whiskey. May I take a moment to
That I do.
out? And I'm holding the 2 up, and then I'll set one before him, and I'll sit down, and I'll take a small sip of mine to show him that I'm not trying to do anything.
He'll pick it, raise his glass, and take a sip. That's just a drink for drink's sake.
Enjoy it. That's fine. But it's not just for drink's sake. I hear tell that you are a fabled hero, a great veteran of the war, and I'm a purveyor of historical record, and would love to pick your brain about a thing or two, if possible, if that's all right.
Well, some of those things you just said are true, so whatever you want to hear.
The truth, if possible.
I'll keep it to that then. I'll try not to embellish too much.
When we get to your stories, embellish all you like. I love that. But the historical parts, I'd prefer more accuracy over imagination, if you will.
All right, youngster, what's up? What you got?
Are you aware of any allies that the Orc Lord had who made him believe he could actually pull this off?
Let's see. Well, I know he tried to get some of the more locals, but unfortunately for him, the 3 closest cities, being Kenai, Kukianya, and Vane, were all completely disinterested in helping him. It was the previous Lord of Kukianya. I don't remember what the old guy's name was. I feel like it was a gnome? Some kind of... something. Sorcerer, maybe. But he had no interest. I know he tried, and at some point during the war, am I needs to grab that person's name. Vector gadget. That's right, I put the lords in their own category. There it is. Where are you? Lord Megrog, of Gosen. He came to, have a meeting with the old Orc Lord, but, didn't go anywhere the Orc wanted. As a result, I don't think anyone actually stood by his side during that final battle. It was definitely, he'd had... What's the word? Far too much of an expectation that everyone else in the kingdom would be, let's say, doubtful of the Queen's strength. Her Majesty's strength. He also, to be fair, from what I understand here at least, I never actually got to see him speak. Not the best politician. So,
Yeah.
I bet
Certainly
he
not something.
probably said the
Cool.
wrong thing too many times to get anyone interested in helping him.
Is it just me, or are you going in and out for everybody else?
Yes.
No!
Yes, it's just me?
No, yes, he's going in and out.
Okay. So
What have you been
real
missing?
quick, Gambit. I went and talked to the bartender to try to get some information, and he kind of pointed me to someone who might know things because they were in the war. And so I'm basically trying to follow up on a hunch because Garon's convinced that Tatsui.
Yep.
I think Tatsui is his name.
It's not
That
Tatsuya.
Garon's convinced Tatsui. Yeah, Sonata's Tatsui's been trying to pull this off for multiple times, and he's basically trying to look for weakness, and he tries to set people against the crown often. And I'm trying to find out whether or not that's true. Now, there is something to be said about the Lord of Gosen trying to meet with the Orc Lord, because Gosen is one of the ones that was on the list for Nace.
On the list for Sheer. That,
On the list from Sheer, but that like Garon's assuming is really like
that
Again,
Sonata might be pulling strings. Yes, okay.
right. He thinks Tatsui is the one like orchestrating from behind the scenes. Yep. And yeah, so the fact that there's a small connection here, like, kind of gives him he makes him a dog with a bone. But anyway, oh wow, that's surprising. I mean, I'm not the whole part about orcs not being good politicians, but you know, the concept that there was someone to meet with him. Do you remember all the lords at the time? I'm sorry, I am young, like you said, not I am a whippersnapper and all that. So
I don't know if I remember all of them. Anyone in particular?
well, yeah, like all right, like Dyke and Keenite and Schist, Nace, Feldspar, Delta, all the ones in the immediate region. I don't really care about the south too much. If you go east, that's fine. But the ones that maybe could have had a hand in anything.
Sure.
If it looks like he's struggling to think, I will absolutely 100% bardically inspire him to give him like a brief moment of thought where he's like, oh wait, maybe I remember. So let me know if it looks like he's having a hard time.
Go ahead and expend it.
All right. And so I am level 5, so mine are a D8. Womp womp. Oh well. That's really nice. All right, get ready to wrap up. It is 9:01. So start cleaning up.
Well, the old Lord of Dyke, I think they called him Health Render? I don't know if that's right.
As far as what...
Sorry?
Oh, I heard he had like a really mighty sword. Is that right? Do you remember?
Something about that. He did magic things.
Nice, nice. Do you know if he was buried with it? Like, did it dead?
Probably. I mean, I don't know that his daughter uses it. I haven't paid that much attention to Lord Goldenfang.
It's fine. No worries. Just curious. All right, keep going. Keep going. I want to know more.
You said Dyke, and then there was Nace. I think it was the same guy, that Tatsui fellow. What was the other one you mentioned?
Was it? Oh, surprising. He's been a lord for a while then, yeah?
Elves and all. What I hear, he's somewhere over 50, I guess. Pretty sure he's been. Well, he's older than me.
Alright.
As long as I can easily remember. This guy looks probably 38, 42 or so.
Alright.
And what was the last place you mentioned?
Shift, Keenite, you know.
Schist, I don't know, some merchant. It changes around sometimes. Keenite was that, I don't remember the guy's name, but he was a Dread Knight, or Dark Knight. What did they call him? Death Knight, that's the word. Yeah.
Is he like a Dragonborn?
No. I think he was an undead.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know the full details of
That
what he
is
was beforehand,
surprising.
but he was undead, and apparently he managed it well enough. Nobody wanted to live there, but the Queen allowed him to maintain control of his land if he wouldn't push past it. And of course follow his main rules, or her main rules. And then the new guy, the Dragon, I mean, I guess relatively new, quote unquote. It's been a long time. That Wise Lord, he's been there ever since when they took the Death Knight down. There was Tolstier, that was the name. The gnome sorcerer who used to rule Kenya. And then Vane's been the same witch lady for a long time.
Yeah, she's more powerful. I'm pretty sure she's going to be alright for at least a little while longer.
Up until recently, from the words I hear on the street, the Sun Lord was there for a number of years over Sheer. I don't know that it was all the way back.
He was the Lord at the time too.
I don't. Let me think for a moment.
Again, let me know. I will keep burning my bardics to help this guy. As long as I have them. I'm trying so hard to get as much information to this puzzle right now as possible from the local veteran drunk.
Let's see. That's Mayane. Not that you'll ever gotten Mayane's name from her. I'm trying to find all my Solzander notes.
It makes the pictures shine.
He's so pretty.
No, it wasn't the Sun Lord. I don't remember who exactly it was. A Dragonborn. Yeah, some Dragonborn was the previous Lord. It wasn't long after the war was over that Sheer was taken over by Solzander.
Well, alright, you know it's got to start somewhere and all.
Yeah. That's. Oh, there's also that pirate guy in the reef, and the lightning dude in Laha. That's. I don't remember either of the names, but both of them were around at the time. But that's all I can recall.
Oh, so pirate, yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
for reef.
Alright. Well, alright. Anything else that stood out to you about the time that was like interesting? Like, oh, this place had a really good crop, but now they don't have that crop. Or, you know, the desert spread since then. And so what used to be a very fertile land is now not. Or anything else of interest that would be like, oh, that's tantalizing.
No? Sorry. Not that I can think of. The desert seems to be in the same place it pretty much was back then, at least as far as I can tell. Mountain is still a fun place where lots of people like to come and hike. I think there might be an air dojo, I guess you would call it, where the monks are, somewhere up the mountain. And then
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
That sounds spicy. All right. Well, thank you. Now if you'd like, I fancy myself a bit of a storyteller from time to time. I would love to hear any songs that you came up with or learned during the war, or any stories you wish to share. I would love to learn one or more of those, if you like, while we finish these delightful beverages.
He will happily regale you over the next 30 minutes to an hour with whatever you're willing to listen to.
Oh, all of it. If there's any chance that like he gives me like a really good song that I know is gonna like really be received well in certain places, like maybe it gives me like a +2 to a performance check or something, let me know.
Keep that in mind.
But yeah, then I'll just drink with him and just try to absorb all the storytelling.
You do so. Is anyone else going to do anything as the night continues?
Yeah. While Garand went over there, you said there was horseshoes on the wall?
Uh-huh.
John noticed those and gets the bartender's attention. What's up with the horseshoes there?
Oh, those were which accent would I use? I think I was going Scottish. Those were a vaguely Scottish accent. You know how it is when you forget which accent you were using at the time. Those were riders that died. They took the shoe off whatever horse they rode.
Oh,
Put the name on it and hung it on the wall.
I see.
Why? You looking for something?
No, I was just curious. I hadn't noticed those. It's a peculiar thing to have a bunch of horseshoes on the wall. I mean,
Well,
normally they're
known
on
for the horses
horses.
and everything. We're trying to take good care of them, try to remember them, and try to remember those who died during it. Especially those who fought on the side of the Queen to free Tough from the orcs. From Nerod specifically.
Mhm.
There are plenty of orcs that are just fine. Orcs, half-orcs. A lot of them, especially when they come traveling through. I try to get them welcomed. But Nerod, he was a prick.
Interesting. John will
It's
go
actually-
over and read a few. I guess.
I think there's still...
See if there's any like notes.
Enjoy. You said you were doing what? Anyone he knows?
Going
May-
over to see if there's anybody he knows.
Make a couple investigation checks.
What?
Make an
You wanna
investigation
know it?
check.
Investigation. Womp.
Yeah, you look over a few minutes, but it's a lot of names. Not all of them have last names. Not all of them have titles. It's... there are at least a handful of Johns. Some spelled differently than you, some spelled similarly.
Gotcha.
You don't see anyone you initially know of for sure. As you will turn to as the bartender will turn to Gambit, and he left right before I told him about the hold. That's a shame. Not that he'd go in anyway. Isn't that right?
What?
My feathered hat friend. Which I don't know if Jason can hear. If Jason's here.
What did you say to me?
It was hard to understand.
Shame he didn't stay around to listen to me talk about the hold at all.
What hold?
The Hollowhorn Hold. It's the built into the mountain. It's the fortress that that Nerod and his men didn't quite kind of constructed. Dug into the mountain to use as the main base, headquarters for the wall.
Where is it?
He will point just kind of behind him toward the mountain.
What does it hold now?
Well, from what I understand, it's used in part for backup location, security for if anything happens in the town, a place we can all retreat to, especially if there's a Grimm attack or something. I think there might even be, from what I hear, there's even different levels to it. That the main surface levels from the orcs have been explored and have been set aside for use by the town, but that there's deeper rooms and floors that the orcs used that were sealed off rather than tried to clear out, especially when other things begin to come up, because apparently the orcs had mined into some kind of old catacomb, and other things came out of the catacomb, again causing issues. Made it unsafe even while the orcs were there. They were one of the ones that tried to seal off the lower levels. Apparently you can
This game really is turning into Minecraft.
you can try if you'd like to go in. I think if you pay a down payment, that way they can send someone, if you'd like someone to try to come in and find you if you're gone for a certain amount of time, or try and retrieve whichever you left. You can pay going in, but they might just let you go down if you're looking for some depths to explore. You're the adventuring type.
We are on quite the mission already. So we will come back if we when we finish our whatever we're doing. Maybe that'll be a fun vacation spot. Like a beach episode. Mount Day spelunking episode.
What they call a bottle
You know,
episode.
that does make it, you do sound like an adventurer when your vacation from adventuring is to tackle a different adventure.
He's got us pegged.
Hey, buddy.
Put that on the list right after follow the brass lamp.
What if the brass lamp leads right to the mountain?
Are you gonna light the lamp and see where the smoke goes?
Not right
After
now.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can
We're-
light it
that's
and then put
our-
it out. Like,
That's our epilogue. We've decided.
okay.
We could do it in the rooms.
Oh, yeah, but it's not touching. You want us to light it now? No.
I'm not
Just
doing it
saying-
right now.
Yeah.
I'm
In
just
the
saying,
tavern.
you could check and see, like, when you get to your rooms, what direction it's pointing if you want.
Yeah. Or we could all get like possessed by it again.
Hey, only
So-
one person got kind of possessed by it. It was you. Now it's in a lead box.
Well, you never know. It could do multiple people at the same time. So
Who knows, man? It's me, I know.
I was gonna say,
You knows.
I
maybe.
Anywho, is there anything else anyone would like to do before resting for the evening?
When we go back up to our rooms, I do want to light the lamp.
Alright, when you arrive back at your rooms, you light the
Take
lamp,
it out with my staff.
make an easy survival check to see if you can tell which direction it is pointing, because it is nighttime. How good is Thicket's sense of direction? The answer is probably really good. That was almost a 1 for me.
Yeah.
I was about to say Thicket has no idea what direction point, but it is
There's no
pointing
way.
currently southeast. Slightly more south than east, but southeast.
So maybe the lamp is pointing to the giraffe, the storm giraffe.
Who knows, man?
Or keen-eyed.
maybe.
Or feldspar.
Anything else anyone would like to do before I long rest you?
No.
Blow out the lamp.
Good note. You blow
Good job.
out the lamp and
Good.
I assume
Put it
put
back in the box.
Put it back
With
in
the
the
staff.
box.
Not touching that thing.
You have your cat light it. You have your cat put it, or something else put it out. Don't touch it. Everyone treats it like it's radioactive.
We treat it like the sock from Monsters Inc.
Yeah. 2319! 2319!
You know, 2319 is just
Yes.
WS. White sock.
It's just white sock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
23 is W, 19 is S.
Huh.
Also, when I worked at Jimmy John's, whenever the total was 2319, we'd scream it out.
Yes, you do.
It was funny.
It is now July 31st. As the morning rolls around, as you begin a new day,
Oh, there was, okay, I'm remembering that we were supposed to be given copper or something. You told us to remind you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yep, end of session will get an
we get our
extra
non-session copper for last week.
You just do.
Anyways, I feed Mason some breakfast.
He munches on the
What are you
copper
doing there,
happily.
Pops? Oh, the copper. I forgot.
Feeding him metals. He likes metals.
Fair enough.
He can consume anything of the earth effectively. There's your extra non-session copper. Enjoy.
Yay!
To speed things up, I presume the party will check out, or I don't know if it's lack of a better term, but check out of their hotel room, we'll say. Why is that?
We gotta go buy some
I
stuff.
forget, what is the name of the horse that we found?
Did it have a name?
It did.
Yeah, we talked to it.
What was his name?
I was
not
You can ask
there.
that.
I think it was like, it started with a T.
You can ask him again this morning.
Do I have it typed anywhere by chance?
Thornsberry or something.
We'll call it Timsbury.
Did you say Timsbury or Tombsbury?
Timsbury. That's what we've decided now. Is
Okay.
Timsbury. Maybe I can search horse. No.
All right, well,
Okay. Did Chris cut out for anyone else? Just me? Am I cutting out from y'all?
and taking her out to, get her superpowers on.
You said, oh, okay, so I was cutting out more than anyone else was? Got it.
Yep.
You said you're taking out Jackie for training?
Yeah, other than that, which is kind of like a daily thing. I'm gonna say while over breakfast. I think I learned some possible information. I think maybe on next time that we communicate with Lady Sasha, we ask her a few questions if possible. I don't know.
We
the
can
best way
ask her
to-
now.
Great. Ask her how long Tatsui has been around and how many times the Queen has been targeted for attack in one way or another since his rise to power, or since his known existence, I guess would be better, since his known existence.
Is that all? Because we can only do this once a day.
I mean, there's a lot there. So I'll go over it while we're walking when there's not as many ears, but my hunch is starting to grow fruit. I'm feeling more and more confident all the time that Tatsui's been in the position to try to make this happen before. And it is at least partially possible that the former Lord of Key Knight, who was taken out by our previous benefactors, was put in place by him, being as we know what he did in that hidden place with those unmentionable things. So, yeah. I feel like other than that, do we decide who's buying what potions? Because there's certain things that I can use. Like, for example, when I have to fight whoever it is that's trying to usurp Decim's position of power, I think that speed potion would be very useful for me.
What were the potions again? I was not there for that.
There is a list of potions in character creation.
I didn't scroll up that far.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Got him. Yeah.
What does...
Okay,
Scroll down slightly further from where you are.
I have
before
it
you
written out
test
in
the
exactly 25 words.
Nice.
I'm gonna ask Sasha. Do you know how long Lord Tatsui has been in power? Also, how many times has the queen been targeted since he became a lord?
I think you have 2 words left over, if I counted correctly? Or is it exactly 25?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm using a word counter.
Word counters go by every 5 things, so those typically use like the standard metric for when you're doing word count or a paper, which is technically different than 25 words.
What do you mean? It's got difference between words and characters.
Oh, it has that option? Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's 122 characters, but it's 25 words.
Okay.
So I've forgotten about the power of Google.
Well, the way that they the way that is like it's counting spaces as characters, and it rounds up. That would be why it would be 25 because it's by 5.
I just manually counted and it's 25.
Okay.
Okay. He has been in power for 28 years, and to my knowledge, the only credible threats to our power were Nurod and Selzander, I believe.
All right. I will tell Garand.
Okay. Mathematically, that works out to within the last same amount of time. Is that accurate? The timeline fits.
The war with Nurod was 15 years ago. So, yes, both happened since then. I mean...
Okay. So it's possible that there was a non-credible threat before then? Okay, so then tomorrow's questions are going to be...
credible threats
were
she knows
there any
of,
non-credible...
Yeah. To my knowledge, the only credible threats.
Okay. Okay, so then, tomorrow's questions are going to be, were there any non-credible threats within 2 years before he came to power and before Nerod? Like that, I think that would be his next thing. But while we're walking, he's going to end up telling everybody about how the former Lord Peltrender did have the sword. So that's just more confirmation that we're in the right direction going for him and figuring that whole thing out. And that the one that like our former like people from Keenite, the ones that hired us in the first place, they took out an undead, which considering Tatsui was summoning a bunch of undead, makes me wonder whether or not he put that guy in place. So that means that maybe the other question is, were there any non-credible threats? Is the first question, and then when was the Dread Knight undead, whatever, when was he put into power in Keenite, and how long was his power before taking out? Something like that. Because Garon's like, I think I'm at the center of a mystery. I want to try to solve the mystery. Nice, Micah, nice.
Everyone says this to the party. How will the party react?
Makes sense. Probably.
What's a Dread Knight?
It's a powerful undead of a type.
Do you think Lord Sasha will know about that? Or should we explain?
I mean, we could, but I'm pretty sure she should know. I think. I think someone who's like the Lord. I think she's. We're very fortunate that we've gained her favor. I think she's going to be a great source of information for us. She can help fill in the gaps, and maybe we can fill in the gaps in what, because she's going to be so busy that she may not have time to put all those things together. Plus, Tatsui's really, really good at the politicking side of things. I'm pretty sure he's covered his bases. But if whatever we're trying to stop with the Four Swords is the ultimate bad guy for us, I would say he is the one right beneath that, if I'm honest. If you're known for being able to enter people's dreams and control them, that's not a good thing.
All right. Well, I don't know what else to say.
I feel more and more convinced he is the puppet master behind the strings. Here's the thing. Gosen sent someone too tough. The same McGrog that was listed in the notes to share. The same one that seemingly is allied in some way or fashion with Selzander, along with Tatsui. I believe Tatsui is orchestrating it.
How does Sam feel about it? Or rather, John? How does John react? He doesn't. John stands
He
there.
died.
Plus, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but didn't Garon learn that Selzander was put in place shortly after the assault failed, or was he in there at the time?
Oh,
1 second.
I was talking about my cup. John has a confused look on his face because he doesn't have context for half of this.
Salzander has been ruling for 14 years. I guess I should have had you roll a history check. The war ended 15 years ago.
Right. So yeah, but if I remember right, the guy that Alar, he had told me that he had been installed. He came to power shortly after that whole combat thing happened.
Alar must have mentioned it.
Yeah. So
you definitely are sure. Yeah, it was 14 years ago. That's what Alar said. That's what you remember when you were in Sheer. That sounds right.
Right. So here's the thing, right? Salzander came to power shortly after his failed attempt. So what's better than I'm going to keep? It's like, have you ever heard of like a creature trying to test boundaries, trying to find where there's weaknesses in their cage, trying to see if they can get out? Well, the way that you do that is if you're like an alpha, you send all of your little betas to go do it for you. Now, those betas may not think that they're beta, so they if you're good at what you're doing, you can manipulate them into thinking that they're the ones doing it, right? You lose one pawn, you make another. Now, Gambit, you said you found out about like a possible, adventurous dungeon in the mountain. That may be a source for clues, but it also could be just a sincere waste of time at the moment, considering what we're trying to do. Every moment that we if I'm right, if we let Tatsui build his plan, that's another moment that we're behind. So I think we could learn a lot by going there, but I don't know that it's worth it. And I'm honestly on the fence about what to do about it. Though I'm glad you found out about it, but still, I don't know. Also, I guess Jack never said which potions he's getting. He may just be that busy. But did everybody else decide whatever? Oh, so John, you're getting both of the giant strength potions, and then you want all the simple healing potions?
Correct.
Okay.
So what you said, John?
I think all the healing potions are already in my inventory.
You did want to mention something about the conversation, John?
I just said John has a confused look because he doesn't have context for half of this and doesn't follow it.
Did you add the healing potions to your inventory, or are those ones you already had?
I thought you added those.
Okay, I did not add any extra. I'm pretty sure you already have 5 from a previous purchase.
Oh. Okay.
Just don't buy 6.
I have more. How many?
I have 11.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I finally certainly pick up on John's.
Your total will be $860, by the way, or 860 gold. I can remove it from your inventory, which will be 86 platinum.
Sweet.
Right. Sorry, John. So here's the thing, right? We took out Salzander because we found out that he was planning on going against the Queen, and he was going to conscript his own people to do so. And then it worked out that he also had the sword. We had originally intended to just ask him, hey, we want to try to stop a great evil, and then we found out he was a bad guy, so we took him out. Now, I believe the person that has replaced him might be a puppet of Tatsui. We don't really have time to go investigate all that, so I can't do anything about that at the moment, which is unfortunate. However, I'm learning more and more information that would historically point to him having an opportunity to be involved, if not actually proving his involvement. Which honestly, that's scarier. Yeah. Lord Vesh, the new one, the voted this year, I believe he might have become so as a result of the work of Tatsui.
So we need to go get Tatsui, is what you're saying.
Right, but he has a sword and we're going to go get him anyways. The problem is, when you're in the city, if you go to sleep, he can enter your dreams. So we're going to have to be shortly outside of there, and we might have to risk possible exhaustion to face him. Or some other form of protection, because I don't want that possibility. I don't want him taking over any of us. I value all of you too much for that. So our first plan is actually to go to Dyke and see if we can get the third sword, and then hopefully to take him on from there, and then we would hopefully get the fourth sword. From there, I would like to honor Decim and fight the person who's been trying to haunt me. And then I would like to use the swords and hopefully save the day. That is my goal. That's what I would want. And the more that I learn, the more that it seems to point that he might be the puppet master that I am worried about. So, there you have it.
Dark Lord of the Sith, pulling all the strings.
Yeah, it reminds me of a tale, tale of Darth
A
Plagueis.
story long ago, far away.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the story of Darth
call him Darth
Plagueis
Plagueis
the
the
Wise?
No.
Not
Gambits.
a tale the Jedi would tell.
I love the memes that Anakin wrote his Jedi Knight thesis on Plague. He's like, yes, actually, I know all the things about this guy. So Gambit said no potions for him. Is Garon gonna buy any potions? Is Garon thinking about buying potions?
Sorry. My mom had sent a message, so I was responding to her. She's
Thicket. Is
we
Thicket thinking
called
about
on Wednesday. We called yesterday when for Trinity's birthday, so Trinity could say thank you for the presents. But she had gone to church, and yes, Garon would like to buy some potions. So my understanding is that nobody else was that concerned with potions other than Garon and John. Is that correct?
Is Thicket gonna get any potions?
Nope.
And then Gambit said he did not want any either, but that would help if necessary. So I think having the one heart root elixir is useful because a greater restoration emergency elixir potion thing is good. It would mean that it would not have to prepare that for one. Thicket could prepare other options. And then if it was necessary to have more than one greater restoration, then he could do that later on. But
I have yet to use Greater Restoration from an actual spell slot.
okay, well.
Mine are from my semblance with the bird.
Oh, if your semblance can do it, then I guess that wouldn't be necessary after all. So that's a huge. What a savings! All right. The spike growth grenades.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see those not being useful. And then the soothing drop, or draft, or however you want to say that. I think that's also really useful. The issue is, I feel like we're in a place now, at least presently, where that may not come up for a while. So I'm also okay with us passing on that. So, do we feel like we need those just in case?
Need which ones? The soothing
or soothing drought, depending on, or drop.
What does it do, Micah?
It just does calm emotions to the drinker.
Yeah.
It really stopped the tracking that the Grimm do.
Essentially, it can calm down an enemy. It can basically make you invisible to the Grimms, not to their eyes, but to their emotion sensing.
I don't personally want to get it.
Okay. Then in that case, it sounds like all we are super interested in then is the Thorn Brew. So, to that end, speed, superior healing, 2 times Thorn Brew, and 2 times greater healing. So 200, 420, 620.
You said you wanted the speed potion?
Yeah. So that's 2020 is my total spending. And then Gambit said would be willing to help in some way.
You said you
Gambit,
wanted
how much?
the speed, Thornbrew, and what were the other items?
Speed, Thorn Brew, superior, and 2 graders.
What does the speed potion do?
That's going to give you haste without concentrating, but Garon wants it so that when he fights the enemy of Decim, whichever thing that has been like trying to show up in his dreams and his visions or whatever, he wants to basically take that haste potion with that fight so that he has a better chance of winning that fight.
Interesting.
Garon really wants to honor Decim because Decim is trying to help. And this entity clearly wants to either consume Garon or become Garon's patron so that he can take out Decim instead. All right, 200 from Gambit. Would be 1820 from me.
Do you need me to do your
All right.
gold, Gambit? Okay, so that's from Gambit. You said 1820 from you. Do you need me to do it, or you got it?
No, I can do the 1820. So I'm going to do 20 of gold and then 180 of platinum.
I have to finish writing up the Thorn Brew because I hadn't put everything into Fancy Grounds because I wasn't sure what y'all would go with. So let me get the Potion of Speed. That in your inventory. Boop. And then you got both graders.
Do we know if our amulets can protect against the Lord of Dreams?
We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. That may happen. That may be fine, but we don't know for sure. The only way to really test that is to let one person sleep and see what happens. Honestly speaking, it would either be Thicket or Garon because it's either a charisma or a wisdom save, and we would be the ones to survive those the best.
Mm. I prepared scrying for the day in case we want to try that for anything.
I mean, if you wanted to look at what's her name, the super chick of Dyke, and just see like her kind of normal like day activities, I could see that. I don't want to give Tatsui any more information that that he's on our radar. I'm pretty sure he already knows, but I don't want him to have any further like idea. I would rather him think that we forgot about him or like we got distracted. I would rather him think that and just like we show up in Nice one time and all of a sudden we're there to take the sword. Like I would.
He wouldn't be entirely wrong if we got about us getting distracted.
Right, which is why I'm kind of hoping like I'd rather him think that's how it went. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't heard from us since Factuo, not really. So unless he has some kind of like weird mega super ultra spell where suddenly, oh, you mention his name and he automatically knows, which is ridiculous. If that's the case, we're all screwed. Then yeah,
That's a god ability. That's not a normal person ability.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like just letting it go for a while and letting it be like, honestly, even if we may even decide to like bypass Gosen and go through the wilderness just straight south and just appear from Nace, like all of a sudden we're there. Like I feel like that might be the best way to go, but that's a whole other thing. We may not want to do that because going through the wilderness could be a whole lot of other problems.
All your potions are in your inventory.
I have 1 superior, 2 greater, 2 thorn brew, and 1 speed, which is everything that I had hoped for.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Izu, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Have a good berry.
Well,
You said
he's
a
just
blueberry?
stalking us the whole time.
You said blueberry or good berry?
Good berry.
Yeah, those are pretty bland.
Fair enough.
Sorry. I just get tired of eating them after.
Ever since that cellar full of wine, he's got elite taste.
No, that was the good stuff. Well, I don't know if that was good stuff. The potato, no, that was great. I wonder if they have any potato sacks here. Probably. I'm gonna go find some potatoes. Bye.
Potatoes
luck.
are indeed the most versatile of the vegetables.
It's a root.
Yeah.
the root that's on fire?
A root vegetable, if you would like to call it such. It is not a legume, however. That is a different kind of thing.
I think the qualifications for a vegetable is very odd.
Vegetables don't
Okay.
exist if you ask a botanist. Vegetables are a large category if you ask a cook.
Technically speaking, vegetable is any edible plant, and fruit is more specific.
Yeah, it's a seed-bearing fruit of a plant. Which includes things like tomatoes, of course, cucumbers, a whole bunch of other things.
Rabbit trail.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You've got vegetables, which encompass fruits and berries and other stuff.
berries are another category.
All right, so do we want to take a short break and then head out? Because I would love to get to Copinia before the end of the night. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
We could take a 10-minute break. If anyone has anything else they want to do in Tough, let me know. And then we will return to make our way to Coquinia.
Yippee.
A shame Jack isn't here. I'll delay any Coquinia Jack-related things until next week.
I mean, even if we just make it to Coquinia and then that's where we would start next time is fine, because there's a lot of travel distance in there. There could be a
Guess
fight.
we have to throw another beholder in our way to slow us down.
I mean, I was just told like an hour ago that people don't like random encounters, so.
Who told you that?
I think Jocelyn said she prefers fast travel.
I didn't say that. I said I hate traveling in games.
You hate traveling in
In
game?
all games. It's not just D&D.
So it had nothing to do with random encounters.
No.
If you're going to travel, do you like to encounter things randomly while doing so?
It doesn't matter what I think.
Aw.
The answer is no, because it makes the travel last any longer. But it's something that I just have to get over. It's not something that I want to change. It's a personal pet peeve that I have.
She wants to grow. So what she's saying is she needs more travel like us, so that way she has opportunity to
No,
grow.
that is not what I'm
Wait,
That is
saying.
the opposite.
That's what I heard,
I'm
though.
so proud of you. You're acknowledging your weakness. You want to
Oh.
yourself. You know what, Micah? Let's somehow get lost for a bit. That sounds like the right plan for.
I mean-
You're ridiculous.
We're gonna walk straight through the desert for 40 years.
Oh gosh. At some point you're gonna hit the if you start just wandering the desert, at some point. Well, technically no, you're never gonna run into the giraffe because you will see it long before it sees you.
Oh yeah, for sure. That thing's huge.
Yeah, it's like it is many stories
Gargantuan
tall.
plus, man, colossal.
Yeah, it is colossal plus in size, I would say. Because colossal, that's one thing I dislike about D&D sizes, is colossal is the cap on size, and is anything from 40 by 40 feet up to as big as you want. So technically you can increase based on, size of a map, which is fine, but it doesn't always transfer over well. You have to start increasing the number of feet that something can travel, because if something, is 400 feet by 400 feet in terms of the space it takes up, it's not going to be traveling at 30 feet around.
No, for sure, for sure. It's definitely moving at like 80 or something
Well,
crazy thing.
if you size up, even if it is bigger and it can take a bigger step, it will be slower.
Theoretically, depends
Yeah.
on the speed and muscle. Though
Physics dictates
the gravity
that
would.
even
Gravity, yeah.
like the
Or
bigger
it's
you get, the
mostly-
more muscle mass you have to
Yeah.
have to even be able to support your own weight,
But-
much less move.
It's more
Not to
than
mention-
gravity. It's mostly friction. Because you
Not to
have to
mention Newton's
displace all
first
that
law
air.
still applies.
It's
Yeah.
cool. I would sooner try defying gravity anyway. So, all right, let's revert. I love you guys. I'm so glad that we're in a room full of music nerds. All right, go do your thing.
Okay. Bye.
I did not know everyone here was a music nerd.
Most of us like musicals, yes.
Oh, wait.
Musicals. Well,
Wait.
liking musicals and being music nerds are two different things.
Yes, this is true.
I have to interject.
Maury, I saw this thing and it was stuck with me about the Cats musical. About how in the song the Cats address the audience a lot, but in the movie all of those lines that address the audience go to the cats instead, and how it changes the meaning of the musical.
I did not see that. I've honestly not been much of a fan of the Cats musical.
Cats, it is very strange. It traumatized me as a child.
It
And
felt very
that's the good
boring
part.
to me, but also that
That's
was
true.
a long time ago since I've watched it, so I don't know if it's still boring. Maybe
But
I'm
yes.
just remembering it wrong.
It is still boring.
But it just seemed like a lot of
But-
introductions, and then the musical was over.
Yes. If you yes. It is boring, and if you watch the movie, it is both boring and unsettling.
Yep, and clarifying and ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And the scale is wrong.
Yes, the scale is so wrong. Okay, I gotta be back.
Cats used to be
I've
my
never felt the
sister's
desire to watch it.
favorite musical when she was little. We had it on VHS.
I did not realize it was that old of a musical.
It's very old. I think the guy who wrote it is dead now. I could be wrong.
Honestly, kind of makes sense given how stupid the premise is.
Only someone who's dead could come up with something like that.
No.
No, he's not
I'm-
dead. He's 77 years old.
7?
I was going to say 7 years
77.
old and pretty
And
young.
he also wrote Phantom of the Opera and Starlight Express.
Wild set of options. There's a wild set of shows.
And Jesus Christ Superstar.
Well, if that gives you any perspective into the dude.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
The variety actually gives me less insight into the guy.
Wait, did you say his name was Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Yep.
Oh, I've heard that name before.
Yeah, he's very well known.
Oh,
Probably for things like Cats.
and probably mostly for Phantom of the Opera, but you know.
That too.
Of all the musicals she just mentioned, that's probably the most well known.
Yeah, y'all don't want to take
Or
a
at least
random
most
side
well-regarded.
quest potentially into the Underdark in the Hollowhorn Hold?
No, thank you.
Yeah, my thought was, there's always going to be a side quest available, no matter where you go, because there's stuff going on in the world. Can't promise it's all going to apply to the main quest line.
Cats was made in 1981.
Hmm. Mm.
So what did I miss earlier? What were Jocelyn and Maury talking about?
Cats.
Hats.
The musical.
And then Micah threatened to send us to the Underdark, so.
Nice.
Why would I do that? Why would I send us on a campaign spanning side quest? That doesn't sound like me at all.
It looks like 14 days, like 2 weeks to get to Coquina. Is that right, Micah?
I'm counting 13, but yeah.
Plus another 8, 9 to Dyke.
Yep, looks like it to me. Welcome to
We're putting in work. I'm just saying we're trying to put it. We're putting in work to try to save this country.
Yeah, y'all haven't unlocked fast travel yet. Gotta get that exercise in. Welcome to ye old no cars, where you're gonna what would take, well, still a couple of days at least. Well, a day or two, or one long drive day.
A lot more.
Takes a lot more in terms of real time, slow movement, and walking, and carts. Which I do have a cart, which is now being pulled by Timsbury.
Is there a Pokemon Go equivalent where I can get my steps and hatch some eggs?
Pikmin! Pikmin!
See, your steps to eggs or power boost is all the days that you're getting to spend training Jackie.
All right, fair enough. Which reminds me, might as well do it.
Let's see. Currently, you've unlocked Thunder Spark, Expeditious Retreat, and Mage Hand. I kind of wish it would auto sort by level, but that's okay.
Maybe.
Womp womp. First day.
Nah.
No boy.
You had fun. Or you
Yeah,
might
we
have gotten
did.
frustrated, but she had fun.
Second day. Because it was the day of and then the day we're leaving.
Okay.
Did that get any training points or no?
One more point.
We'll take it.
Bring her to a total of 4. Hooray.
It was 5 points to up something? Is that what you said?
I think so. I think I was going to cap it like 13 to a score for primary scores, or like 13 for a non-primary score, and then like 16, 17 for a primary score, which for her will be dexterity and charisma.
Okay.
What I would call her primary attributes.
Oh yeah, I am definitely gonna be I got to get those rookie numbers up. I got to get those numbers up. That strength and that. And I wanted to be smart enough to have full on conversations with me.
In common, maybe not. Might be hard simply for, having a dog mouth. But
yeah, but I can start finding some speak with animals potions, and then we can have like full on dissertations. I can make her a 13. That gives her the equivalent of about 130 IQ.
Sure. Probably. I don't know. Is everyone here?
They did it once back in the 3rd edition days, which is like this is
Haven't
crazy.
I been helping you with Jackie by using Speak with Animals?
Yeah, you've been helping for sure. Oh yeah, you're supposed to give me advantage. I didn't even roll those with advantage. Oh well.
It's too late now. I guess I forgot to ask Thicket for help those days.
Yeah, it's fine. I probably was just like I was probably
slept in.
Yeah.
Thicket had a cat nap. Right, but it sounds like everyone's here, so back into the game we go. We'll go ahead and, assuming y'all are making your purchases and then leaving, there are no other Potion purchases. Anything else y'all are going to try and get or do in Tough before you move on?
I'll say goodbye to my new bestie.
It was a pleasure, and not just because y'all paid me thousands of gold.
I hope we meet again.
I hope so too. It was wonderful to meet you, Thicket.
Do you have a place that you want to live now, Thicket, when you're done?
Don't I live with you guys?
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, like, if you're done adventuring.
Why would we stop adventuring?
I don't know. I will say that at the very least, I want to help Gambit, and part of that means I might be gone for a time, serving in Reef.
No.
No?
I don't think Gambit wants your help.
Well, I'm not saying I don't want his help. I'm just saying I don't think doing community service is gonna help me out any.
Let me say it's not exactly community service, but I'm under the impression that in order to get the help that might be necessary to destroy the pirate lord's hold on everything in Reef, I'm going to have to submit myself to my uncle in Laha, and therefore
don't do that.
I believe
We'll figure out another way.
What would the proper term? His vassal. I'd have to be his vassal in Reef.
Well, I don't trust your uncle.
Me either.
If it helps, I don't fully trust him either, but
so
we know other lords.
There will be another way.
All right, maybe we'll figure it out. I don't know. Let's get going. We've got to make our way. And that's certainly 3 weeks more away. So unless Thicket comes up with a really good plan, but I'll help where I can, Thicket, because again I am technically proficient in survival, so I do get to give you advantage. But yeah.
Wait, a good plan for what?
I get to give you advantage for survival because I'm actually trained in that one on purpose. So you'll have advantage on your survival checks
for travel.
To try to figure for travel. So maybe there's a roll that's high enough where Micah says, you made up a whole day because you figured out a really quick way to take a little sidetrack.
Yes!
Okay, how many of these am I rolling?
13.
Woo!
Reasons why.
I'm rolling 13.
You're rolling 13 Jackie points. I need John or Gambit to roll 13 straight d20s.
I'm getting there. Hold
one
up.
at a time, probably.
Yeah, let's do one at a time. So
let Jackie go first.
Jackie points first.
You said 13?
I'm sorry. What? What?
What is happening here? How are you rolling nat 20 3 times in a row?
4 times in a row, even with
4
times,
advantage.
bruh. 4 times. 4 times. Because why?
You need
Because,
some permanent inspiration for that.
because we're getting to the point where the story's really about Jackie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 5 more.
I can do
her own
10
hero
at a
point.
time. Let me
you
know
can only
when
throw
you're
10
ready.
at a time?
Well, I can do 10 or 15. I don't know how to tell it to do 13 because
I've got 13 ready to go as soon as
Yeah.
Chris is
How do
done
you
rolling.
do it then?
You just right click while you're left clicking, but if
Oh,
you're on the
that's
laptop, it's probably
3, 4,
hard. I don't know.
I'm not on laptop.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One more. That's what I thought.
I've got 13 d20s ready to go
8,
once
If you roll another
9,
20.
this is done.
Okay, good.
10, 11,
Bro,
12.
Okay.
look, I just want to point out.
13.
Your homie rolled
I don't
5.
think that worked. Wait. 1,
I just rolled
2,
them.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, here we go.
I just rolled them, but okay.
Oh, I thought he said he needed one for each of us.
No, just
And that was
one.
14.
He said 4, and that was 14.
Alright, I've got that
Okay,
noted.
drop the 5.
Thicket, you can go ahead and roll your
I thought he
survivals.
said and.
Nope. He said
1, 2, 3. That was bad. 4, 5.
I took off 13 days of training treats for Jackie, by the way. So
Good. Now put 25
Six.
points on her.
all right, where do the points things go? Is that note?
Yeah, it's going to be on her page in Pet Links,
8.
under notes. Should have 4 now, so you'll
9.
have 29.
So add 29? Okay. I can't edit it. You have it locked. Wait, there it is.
You should be able to unlock it.
11.
Yep.
12 and 13.
Okay.
We're gonna put her dex at 16.
In hindsight, I should have had the survivals rolled first. Because I think you're going to cut off 2 days.
Probably.
You're going to cut off 2 days as you go, but since we didn't do it that way, you can still have the points and the other stuff that's going to happen. Thicket, roll a perception check. I'm going to see what is 13 days through this. So...
It was pretty awesome that I totally got 5 nat 20s.
It's going to be August 10th.
You're going to get nat 1s the rest of the game.
False. Do not accept. Do not receive.
With that perception, you will notice them long before they notice you.
Wait, what?
What happened? I stepped away for
I
10
noticed
seconds.
something.
Oh
You
no.
would see in the distance as you're moving through the desert on some of the dunes ahead, traveling vaguely northward at the moment, some flying, some not. What looks to be a swarm of these small black creatures moving along the ground, and 2 of the... how would I describe them? Find the words, Micah. That's your job.
Creepy crawlies.
No, they're not creepy crawlies. They're flying flyers.
No.
These kind of slightly draconic, wyvern-like, almost flying Grimm that you've seen before, known as a Teryx.
Oh.
The thing I threw a rock at.
You did. You threw a rock at it. Y'all fought hurt one of these in Keenite after Uldrathel shot 2 of them and killed them with something, light beam. looked like crystalline light spears, or spears made of almost starlight.
Ultrathel is the crow guy.
No,
The
Ultrathel is the
Father?
blue
dragon.
dragonborn guy.
So
Okay.
Bellathor is the like priest dude that's like his assistant, and the
Okay.
crow guy.
Okay. And the crow guy is okay. The crow guy who's came to visit us while we were at
Yeah.
John's
Reverend
parents' house.
Bellathor.
okay, so let's see. You are looking to spend 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're gonna spend 25 points to up her stats to a good quality. I'm debating whether or not strength should be. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, 13's fine. I'll allow it. You can still cap those at 13. Boop. Which I think there's an argument to her armor class would go up because her dex bonus increases. Good for her.
Yay.
You do that instead of discovering any more techniques. You just help out her build, her quality, help her be cute and cuddly, and exert her will upon the world, and also be fast and strong. Yes, but you would see a swarm of small black and white creatures on the ground far ahead, and 2 Pteryx flying above them. Seemingly flying faster than they're moving, so they're kind of coasting? Flying? What's that thing you do in games with a paraglider? Glide!
Gliding.
Yeah.
Levitate?
As soon as I said paraglide, I was like, there you go, that's the word. Gliding along with rather than putting any effort into it above these creatures.
We've got Grimm up ahead. Those are Grimm, right?
Yes. They seem to be.
How far away are they?
A couple 100 feet, maybe?
Point. That far.
Some odd 100 feet. You're in a desert, so it probably is closer to like 400 feet.
Well, here's the thing. They're just looking for bad emotions, so they'll probably pass us by. But if we're ready for a fight, I think that's fine. But
I'm very calm.
Deep breaths, and we should
Deep
give them a wide berth.
Gambit, make
Happy
a
thought.
wisdom saving throw as you consciously think about being
No.
calm.
Oh,
You
I'm
consciously
so
think about
calm.
being calm and all the reasons you might not be, and then you
I'm
have to actually try to be calm.
Very calm. No one can believe how calm I am right now.
They don't believe it.
No.
Unbelievably calm. He's sweating.
So unbelievably, they don't believe it.
You start thinking about all the reasons you have not to be calm.
This is like, don't look down. Who looks down?
look down.
This is me whenever I try to do a breathing exercise.
Aw.
You start hyperventilating.
Is there
Clearly
anything
think
the
back
rest
around.
of the party would like to do to try to avoid being detected by the Grimm?
Calm emotions. Somebody calm emotions. I will do pass without a trace.
I am the desert.
I mean, at this point, as soon as they begin to turn around, Garon's gonna go ahead and ready some spell action.
Are they starting to turn around?
You rolled a 5. I'm pretty sure they're turning around.
Well, Micah hasn't said it yet. Maybe they don't notice.
We get a turn to prepare before we get chased.
All right. My turn is going to be readying some Eldritch Blasty.
Is there anything like to hide around, or just
You're on the dunes.
We're in the desert, man.
think thin thoughts?
Think dirty, sandy thoughts. We're on the beach. We belong to the shore.
Sand.
I
Wait,
am
do I
the
have
sand.
disguise self? Could I like disguise myself as a cactus?
Someone do combo motions on Gambit.
Can't.
I
Don't.
got rid of calm emotions.
It wasn't
And I
playing
keep
enough
forgetting
use,
it.
and then it needed to be.
I was never using it, got rid of it, and now we need it all the time.
Gambit, look, here's Mason. Isn't he so soft and covered in moss?
Mason.
And cute?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Do you eat sand?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Deep
Can
breath,
you-
Gambit.
Cast anything?
Thunderwave.
I don't really have enough things to throw to cast.
What do you mean?
I
The
don't
fishing
have
that you-
arms. Well, I mean, my arms aren't very strong. How can I throw something?
Oh, well, can't
I don't
you
have
do...
my fishing pole. Hey, could you stop my fishing
No,
pole?
no. I mean, like, are you magic?
He can cast Thunderwave.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, don't you remember?
Oh.
It was before you could see. That's how you saw stuff.
Echolocation? Well, not echolocation, tremor sense?
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
That's not Thunderwave. What's Thunderwave? Gambit, make another wisdom save. Thanks
I wonder if we feed you enough copper, if you'll turn into a copper element.
Does Gambit
Get plus
get
one.
advantage because
Are you
I'm
kidding
helping
me?
him calm down?
Are you kidding me?
You're meant to give us away, bro. Like, it's,
Man,
He
no.
gets
Gambit-
advantage,
Gambit,
right?
dude.
Right?
This is gonna slow us down.
It's just what you wanted. You get the perfect opportunity to grow.
I'll say yes, you can have advantage.
Try again.
Okay.
You roll one more time.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
this
Dog
fails,
You know what
Yes.
I'm gonna do?
The
You know what
water-
I'm gonna do?
spend a hero point
I'm gonna use a hero point.
to relax.
Oh, to relax.
All right,
There
you
we
have plus
go.
fi- You have +5 because my inspiration.
Which means if you roll a 5 again, you're
You get a
good.
zero.
Just don't roll less than a 5.
Oh.
Oh my god!
He's trying so hard not to be worried that all he is doing is being worried about not being worried.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was originally gonna plan on letting y'all hide, but after this comedy of errors, I'm sharing a map.
Oh,
I love
I
it.
hate it here.
Okay, let's see. What's the I'll just
Next,
say
Don't open your mouth about how calm you're trying to be.
let me go ahead and make the lines a little. Place yourselves anywhere you want on the right side of the map.
For what it's worth, we're still vast without trace. Even though they can kind of sense us.
Well, they
At
can
least
sense him.
Gambit.
If everyone else is
What is
trying to
this?
actively hide, then they will need to make their own checks.
Is this an update?
What
with the
happened
arrows
to
here?
the map?
That's
That's
interesting.
weird.
Yeah, that's an update. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's I guess because I still have movement locked. I have unlocked your movement. You should be able to move wherever you want now. Yes, I can now approve or disapprove of everyone's movements at once and other stuff like that.
Nice.
So how much of that conversation did Mason try and do in common?
Very little bits. Not very well, but he did sure try.
Nice. Proud of you, Mason.
Thanks.
Yeah, bro, you rock.
Haha.
So I'll have a ready action, but I'll go ahead and roll initiative just because.
Need to check if these things have a burrowing speed. 1 second.
What?
Fun! Don't worry, guys. I've got the Terex. That's why I have Earthbound. John, or Sam, for context, we fought one of these earlier in the campaign, and those exact Grimm are the reason why I always have Earthbound prepared now.
Earthbound is a video game. Hey, y'all fought a wounded one earlier in the campaign when y'all were in Key Knight. The early days.
Great.
There is
Sounds
a
like a-
small... These dunes do go up about 15 feet, giving you a bit of a visual block on the ground space, though. The Heterics are flying high in the sky, though, 60 feet up. So, you can see them. Once you're closer, you can probably keep track of what the other things are.
Ah, yes, the other things.
Alright, everyone roll initiative. Jackie rolled a 15.
Oh yeah, I should have rolled for Jackie. My fault.
I did it as...
Hey, that's
Are you
me, though. I like
kidding?
for going.
What's wrong?
Dang.
Damn it! You're
See,
awful tonight.
this is where all the luck went. When you rolled your
That's fair.
5
Yeah.
20s, Jocelyn has to balance it out by rolling... What are you at? 3 1s now? You've got 2 left in the tank. So be aware of that.
I rolled a couple
Oh,
twos earlier too.
What, 2 1s? Grind rolled the other one.
I've been rolling some ones on my inspiration.
I think you rolled 2 1s on your...
But I was,
Oh, no, you're right. You've only rolled 1. So you've got 3 left in the chamber.
but like several 5s, several 2s.
Alright, who's playing
Don't think
Doug?
I've rolled anything.
Not it.
I
I guess
Throw me,
Okay,
Doug.
you go for it.
Throw me, Doug. It's good.
Character selection.
I'm gonna be.
I'll go ahead and roll his initiative. 19. Good on him. That actually means, it's a speed tie. Let's see who has a higher dex bonus. They're tied on their dex bonuses. Alright, I need another initiative check from Doug once you get him up. Or I can go ahead and roll it.
I just rolled a D20 14.
Alright, Doug is going to go first. I'm just declaring him to move him up to initiative of 20. What would you like him to do? Why is he prone? Be not prone anymore.
How do I bring? There he is. Okay. There we go. All right. All right.
would
So he
Douglas
has
like to
first
do?
roll. All right. We're definitely gonna shoot. So. I guess I have
It's
disadvantage from here.
115 feet. You will have well, it depends on what weapon I guess you're using. That is 115. Pythagoras, we're going to call it 135.
It doesn't matter. That he can hit that with a bow. The problem is whether or not I have disadvantage. What feats does he have?
He definitely does not have the archery feat. But it's under
Alright, so
150,
he has
which is the
disadvantage,
frost
But
point.
the thing is, like,
He's
you
under
can hit, like,
150.
400.
The frost point has 150 normal, so...
Oh, so I don't have disadvantage?
Nope, you're within range for the frost point. And the frost points,
Ooh, let's go.
5 special
Let's
arrows
go.
have been renewed.
All right, let's go.
Let's see, how many great arrows do you have left? You have 50... Let's see, it should be 53 now. Is that right? Unfortunately, as you bring up the 2 shots, just from being this far away, not being used to as long shots, both of them go wide. And yes. I see he has 52 great bow arrows, 53. Dope. I should have locked token movement, but I'm gonna assume that's...
Is it wrong? Not too much?
Yeah, let me just lock. Boom, there you go. You have 30 feet.
Oh, that's about perfect, isn't it?
Are you 150 feet away?
Oh man.
Yes, I am.
You might be slightly farther
It's
because of
tough.
Pythagoras, but you know, if you move 10 feet forward, it'll be easy.
I'm like directly across from them.
All right.
Pythagoras-
We will use.
Just doesn't care.
All right. So we will go ahead and action surge.
Okie doke. When in doubt, surge actionly.
I don't know what that was.
hits.
Sorry, I was going for the Terex 9. Sorry about that.
That's fine. So the second one will miss. You did not declare a frost arrow before, so you're going to use regular arrows for those two.
No. Yep.
You can go ahead and
All
roll
right,
damage for the first
and-
one. You don't have to mark the arrows. They will automatically mark as you shoot them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what the blue dots are. They will automatically fill in as you go. And then I can just
Alright, good
edit
deal.
to refresh downward. 11 points of damage.
All right. I want to lucky that last attack roll.
Okie doke.
So just roll a d20 again.
Yep. Or just another attack.
I don't want to count the arrow.
Fair enough.
Does that count as a
It
crit
will
for him?
hit. It is not a crit, though.
It's not a crit for him? Okay.
Not a crit. To make sure you mark off the, should have lucky. You did. Good.
Yep. I marked off the lucky.
Another
but I'm not
12
marking
points
off-
of damage as you fire the two arrows into it, striking into it along its abdomen, but it continues to fly forward, relatively unfazed.
Okay. Let's see. Minor action to manifest the echo.
Bonus action Echo. I can see
Did I do that right? Oh.
Ori coming out. Where would you like to put the Echo?
Oh, did I say minor action? That's hilarious.
You did.
Uh,
Anywhere within 30 feet.
Nice. We'll go right there. We'll have him go right there. All right.
Terex 11. Going to action dash. Going to move 120 feet, floating above with a good vantage point upon its prey. Thicket.
What's the weather like?
What a great question. Let's find out.
Stormy, 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 stormy.
It's a thunderstorm!
Yay!
Which
Are you
is...
kidding? And the desert?
Wait, a thunderstorm in the desert?
It happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Gotta happen at some point.
Very
It
occasionally.
also means it's minorly flooding right now. Which is, I'm going to
Fair.
say, from here on out, because of that, and it's thunderstorming in a desert, you're going to have difficult terrain. Except for Thicket, because he is not affected by natural difficult terrain.
Sounds good.
Being a land druid. I'm going to say it
So
counts,
it's
even though it's
basically
technically
all
plants.
wet sand. That's
Yup.
fun.
But it's thundering, so, get lightning. I can't believe
Yeah,
you rolled that. The first time we've rolled a thunderstorm from the summer weather, and it's right now. How perfect.
You've rolled it when we were in town, but it didn't make any difference. He wasn't going to use anything then, but now
That's
he
fair.
can. He can blow stuff up.
All right. I assume you are casting what I think you're casting.
Yes, I just need to figure out where.
Well, I think the cloud is 120-foot radius of you.
It's 60.
60-foot radius of you.
It might double with the storm though.
120-foot range and also 120-foot diameter. So
So 60-foot radius.
what are you doing?
I'm trying to
He's
figure out
trying
what 60-foot is because the coming up a little weird.
12
Yeah.
squares. 12 squares.
Like
in
it's
one
showing
direction.
me 65 feet right there. You see when it's clearly not.
That's a 65-foot
Diameter.
diameter. Not
Weird. So for
maybe,
some reason,
yeah.
it's like from over there. It will mess things. There we go. There's a 60-foot radius. Or
Whenever I go anywhere near the Terex, it sets it at its height for some reason.
I think so. I think it's one of the just a bug that's happening. Anyway, there's your actual 60-foot radius if you want it. Where do you want that 60-foot radius to be?
Are you sending a lightning storm on all of us?
She can control it, so he controls
Oh, okay.
it fine.
Mori can control where Thicket controls it.
I'm trying to move my circle
Oh,
because I don't know how to delete it.
just control using the centerpiece. And just
Well,
drag
it's not
it.
the right size either. Oh wait,
I think it's rough.
is it?
It's
It
close.
looks like the right size.
Sometimes it's 60 and sometimes it's 65.
Just to
Okay,
be clear,
anyway.
it's going to be most of the map. Like a solid 55, 60, 70%. Yeah, probably
Why don't you just encapsulate all of them? That works.
60%.
How about there?
Okay.
Yeah. We
Where are
can
you going
move
to
into
actually
it.
strike the lightning for this turn now?
The one that's close to us, Terex 11.
Fair enough.
So let's see.
You know what to do.
First, concentration on myself. And then do they have to save, right?
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
And it
wasn't
nat
that.
once.
Hey.
Fortunately
Hey,
for
does
me,
that
in
mean double
5e... Nope. In 5e rolls, it doesn't double damage.
It should.
Takes 21 points of lightning damage as lightning courses through the sky and strikes through one of its wings as you see what kind of could be argued for a skeletal figure within, but it looks more see-through, like there's less bones or bone-like structures than you'd expect.
Wait, did you just give us an animation trope? You see their skeleton when they get electrocuted?
Yes.
Nice.
That's your action. Any bonus?
Uh,
Movement?
I'm going to... Let me move. To, like... Here, I guess.
Gotta make sure you're in the proper space. Honk. Garand.
All right. The double. Wait, sorry, that's not working right. That's X. That's there. That's the 15, which is 30.
Yep.
And then, out of curiosity, due to the nature of Decim, does Thunderstorm also enhance me with like plus accuracy or anything?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Good idea, but I'm going to say no.
All right. Choosing Wisdom in case Gambit wants to start doing some sneaky stuff. He might be able to hide a little bit better if that thing has disadvantage to see Gambit.
All right. You've brined Terex 11. Probably a little far away to use the... yeah, there we go. Eldritch Blast, probably the play. I think you're a little outside of the 60-foot typical range for the spear. But you do still point the spear and...
Oh yeah, I can't. This is not a melee fight for me. This is definitely a ranged fight for me.
Spear has some range capability, but not as much. Not as far as range as the Eldritch Blast. Also has slightly lower damage potential, but it does have a plus bonus that the Eldritch Blast doesn't get. Though actually, I mean, yeah, okay. Both of them do strike into it as you deal the total of 24 points of damage. blasting into it as it's taking more bits of force and lightning as it continues to fly. It kind of losing its capability to fly super well while in the air. I don't know that you get 3 now. You're not level 11 yet.
Is it at level 11? If so, I'm sorry. If it's, I thought it was 10. My fault. If that's
I think
wrong.
it's 11, but we're gonna click on it and find out because now you've got me wondering. It's 11. One more
Okay,
level.
my fault.
No, you're fine.
Alright,
Just
my fault.
honest mistake. No worries. I am going
Heal
to
this
go
up.
ahead and negate value. Heal him back up. There you go. Jackie. Woof.
Alright. Jackie, I think, if I remember right, has 40, so she could theoretically go 4 squares. One, two, three, 4. She's kind of staying back. She knows that she's waiting for them to get closer, so.
Okey-doke.
She's ready. If something comes within range to bark, she will ready for that.
Got it. John.
It's got to be within 80 feet for her to bark at, though.
That's the range for that one. Mr. Halston.
Oh, I did not realize it was my turn. I am going to do the rather obvious and throw a fireball in this general area over here. I think it's just going to hit those 2 on the ground.
Yeah, it'll only hit the swarm of sulfurfish.
So I will.
As you
I think I just have to roll the
an
save,
incredibly impressive baseball throw of one of the beads. They both fail.
Ooh, let's go.
fortunately.
Oh.
So they're gonna take
Nice.
the damage. Do.
I think that's solid damage.
They do unfortunately seem to both resist the damage, but you do still deal a good 14 damage to each of them.
Resist
As
damage,
some
that's
of this
What?
horde of these small
Yeah.
creatures fall away.
Ooh. That's not good.
What's not good?
Unaffected seemingly by
They're
the difficult
swarms.
terrain.
Swarms should be vulnerable to AoE damage, not resist it. So that's really not good.
Yeah.
Whoa, they go fast.
That's fast movement. Okay.
They are going to be unaffected by the rain, and they are going to dash. And let's see. It currently has enough hit points. It is going to transform as it moves, increasing in size as it becomes more serpentine. As I will share now that it's close enough that John gets that. Sam, for the first time, we'll get to actually see what these look like.
It's wishy-washy.
What?
The Pokemon wishy-washy.
Yeah, sure.
Wishy-washy. One of my favorites.
They're fun. They're
Top 5.
sulfurfish.
Ew.
You get these
Nice.
little bug
Dinky.
razor guys that can shift forms and are currently
Just-
in their serpent form. In the top right there.
Wonderful.
That's terrifying. I love them.
You'll have fought them before, but it was a while ago. I believe Sasha threw lightning at... No, not Sasha. Sylvia threw lightning at one of them. The other sulfurfish is more damage, doesn't have enough HP. It does still have enough HP to transform, as this one is going to... yeah, it's still far, and if it can get another 30 feet... Yeah, it's gonna go ahead and transform into the golem form. The standing one up there at the top. As it shifts inward. Maintains its medium size compared to the serpent form, but does do that. Gambit. They're creepy crawly. He's coming over the ridge. You can just barely see him over the ridge.
Creepy crawlies.
And they really want to
Okay.
come after you, it looks like.
Yay! I think I want to get next to Thicket. Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me zoom in. And hide in the sand.
Are you going prone?
He's burrowing, I think.
He's going full ostrich.
You do have a burrow speed equal to half your movement speed, so you
I
can move
do.
5. You could move 5 feet into the sand.
Yes. I would like
Notably, you don't have the ability to breathe underground, so you do have to hold your breath. But you can hold your breath up to a number of, I think, minutes, up to your con modifier. So,
but can I can pop out and
breathe, yes. But you've got a minute underground if you need
and
it.
okay, well, I'm not gonna stay there the full. Well, I'll do that after. Well, no, because I gotta hide. I want to hide, and then I want to shoot him, and then I want to hide again.
Fair enough. Well, currently you are now underground. I assume you're hiding. Bonus action, and
I'm
then
hiding, yes.
are you going to attack this turn, or wait? You still do have an action. But
I'm
you
going
do
to
need
attack
make
this
the,
turn.
All right, go ahead and
I'm going to attack this turn.
go ahead and make the stealth check, and then also a wisdom save.
Stealth check. Do something for me, okay? Don't just be dumb.
I don't think the stealth check is sentient.
Now the stealth check is the easy part for you.
Definitely hoping for not another, 5 or lower.
Oh, it's gonna be
No, you got a
Okay.
16. You are
fine enough.
quiet and in the zone beneath the ground.
Okay, time to get out and attack. Do I have sneak attack?
You will have advantage for being hidden, yes.
Well,
The only one you can see from here is Terex 11,
Yay.
though. Though I do believe, what is the range
Uh,
on the gun? I believe the revolver
Enough.
plus 1 is 2060.
15. Am I too close?
I think you're too
But he's up in the air.
But he's 65 feet up in the air.
What?
You're not supposed to shoot a gun straight up, Gambit.
I will watch
Can he
me.
jump? Can he jump?
Sure, but he won't be hidden.
This. Okay, can I
Once he
hold
fires
my
that thing, he won't be hidden
action
either.
and as soon as it gets into range,
Yes.
shoot it? Oh, okay.
That you can do.
Okay.
The sneak attack allows you to go per turn, so you could sneak on their turn, and then on your turn sneak again.
Mm-hmm.
This is
A
accurate.
wonderful combo is a master fighter who
Do a
gets
check.
who
How much
uses
does
a
she-
attack to give to their rogue, so that the rogue can sneak attack twice as often.
Hmm.
If we ever end up needing to re-roll a character for any reason.
Just in case. Doing a glance. What do I have here? So I've got that. This might be. Okay. Holding your action. Terex 9. Gonna zoom. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Doug. should change the
Alright,
combat music because it's playing super chill songs, and it needs to be something. It's not super chill songs. So here we go. That's much more aggressive. I need to go through the Dark Souls soundtrack.
No idea what he said.
I needed the power of music on my
Hold on,
side.
before you tell me the total. Hold on. Before you tell me the total, does a 14 hit?
Yes.
Alright, good.
You did not declare a frost arrow, so go ahead and spend a normal one and roll damage. Dealing 14 points of damage as you fire another bolt into it. Which, as a reminder, they're great bow arrows, so they're quite large. They're closer to small spears or javelins than they are to arrows, all things considered.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is a big boy bow. It also hits. Dealing another 12 points of damage as Doug is rapidly firing off these into the air. Is he going to move or anything?
No, he's probably okay at the moment. That's good.
Derek's 11. Let's see. It is going to make 3 Tailspine attacks against Doug because he's the one who has been attacking it. Huzzah. Which, let me double check the range on Tailspines, make sure it gets close enough within range. 40-80, so it's going to fly downward 25 feet. And over
Which makes it how
5.
close?
It is 40 feet in the air, so it is close enough for Gambit to attack with disadvantage, but not normal. So you would not be able to get sneak attack, but you could take a shot if you wanted.
So it's a hard choice.
Would you like to take a shot, Jocelyn?
What? Is it in
You could
range?
Roll.
It is in
But no-
range for a disadvantage. So you would not get sneak attack, but you
Which
could
is
take a
Why
shot.
is it disadvantage?
Because it's too far away still. It's not in normal range. All ranged
roll.
weapons have a normal range and then a disadvantage range. The disadvantage range...
Eric's 11?
Yeah. It's currently about 45 feet away. Well, I guess closer to... Yeah, about 45 feet away, we'll say.
But that's in range.
It's in range for
For
disadvantage.
You have advantage from stealth, disadvantage from range, so no
So
sneak attack, but you...
But my range is 60. I don't understand.
It's 20-60. So there are 2 ranges on the gun. There is the within 20-25 feet is normal range. And then if you shoot beyond that you can shoot beyond that up to 60 feet. But that extra 40 feet of range is disadvantage.
Huh?
A maximum of 60 feet on a revolver? That is a really short range.
It's
Yeah.
an old style revolver. Last I'm thinking
So wait.
New tech.
more of an accurately
I
enough
don't
to be
understand.
useful type of
Yeah.
shot.
I thought it was if it's within 20 feet it's disadvantage.
No,
But
it's the
anything up
opposite.
to 60 is advantage.
No, it's only disadvantage if it's under 5 feet.
So if they're right next to you, you get disadvantage. So basically, from 10 feet to 25 feet away is normal. From 25 to 60 is disadvantage. Then beyond
I
that,
thought it was
it's-
saying that 60 to 20 feet is the sweet spot.
interesting idea, and I honestly I may even consider that for future games because that'd be interesting. But no.
Okay. No, I don't want to take a shot.
Okay, you'll keep holding. And it's going to make its tailspine attacks against Doug. First attack. It's going to miss. Second attack is it swings its tail and these bone-like spines stretch out from it. The second one will hit. And the third one...
He's
Yes.
cutting out for everyone else
will
too,
miss.
right?
You roll that last tailspine?
I just
That
take
second tailspine, I guess? The 20, the 19?
Let me, clearly I found a web page that takes way too much energy. So I'm just gonna ignore that web page for now. Am I here? Can y'all hear me? You said you're gonna luck
Yep.
to reroll
Yeah,
the second
yeah,
tail
yeah,
It's coming
spell.
in and out a lot.
How about now? Am I gonna cut in and
Yep.
out, and am I gonna be fine, or are we gonna have issues?
Fine.
Hey,
Fine right now.
Cool. I think it's
Okay
just
right
that
now.
I found a single website that is too aggressive. I think.
Mm.
We'll say that. Anyway, it does still hit even with the lucky reroll.
Yep.
So he's going to
Yeah, it's fine.
take
But that's only 1 hit out of 3, so that's fine.
10 points of damage, which is 9 piercing and 1 necrotic.
Okay.
So Terex, well, it's got, let's see, it went 25 feet down. It is going to fly 35 feet back up. Is that right? Yeah, that's fine. Take it. They're within your height range, because your height range is the sky, effectively.
If I hit that square 2 to the right of Doug, can I get both Terex?
Thinking right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it'd be more of a right. Roll a wisdom check. See how well you can manage and control the spell.
Wisdom check. I'm gonna hero point this. Okay. Great.
Oh,
Unfortunately, you don't think you'll be able to manage
Wonderful.
both, so you have to choose one.
What is with me in the twos tonight? Why does Thicket never roll well? He's cursed. Someone get this Grimm out of me. It's messing with my rolls.
Apparently, that's really what's happening, is that the Grimm is messing you up. The Grim blood or whatever you got.
Which one looks more wounded?
Terex 11. Y'all haven't touched Terex 9 very much.
Okay, let's beat him up.
yeah, one at a time. Let's take them on down.
Yay!
Yeah.
It fails. Roll damage.
At least they're all.
Get wrecked.
Ooh, that's a nice roll.
32 points of damage as it strikes down through it. As it pierces through, you see some of the wings beginning to tear and shred apart, as it is looking quite hurt at this point.
See some of the what? Some of the dot.
Micah? As it pierces down, you see some of the...
You see the thing's wings begin to shred somewhat as it looks quite hurt. As the lightning pierces through it.
As it should.
Okay, and now I'm going to move over. Where's a good place? Here, I guess.
Yeah.
Five, 10, 15. There. That's 15. And we are continuing the good. Ka-chow. Is that a hit?
That is a hit.
All right. Ka-chow. All right. Then with my bonus action, I will then move the Hex, or Brine. Still kind of doing the same thing. I still want to make it harder for them to find Gambit should he decide to do sneakies.
Fair enough. The first one is pierced through and ashes away as it falls from the sky.
Oh, let's
Strike
go!
Is anyone dealing
Struck it for...
almost max damage, piercing into it, blasting away the tip of one of its wings.
Alright, and then Jackie. Is that, when she gets there, is that within 80 feet of Terex 9?
It is, and before you roll, go ahead and make a charisma check for her. Okay. Go ahead and continue as you were.
Alright, bark, bark.
Bark, bark. Make, I believe it's an attack from her sheet. It
Yeah, ready
should.
spell.
It might. Oh no, it's not going
It
to
doesn't
have
have
a
it.
bonus. I think I know why. I need to fix them. It's because I haven't put the proper spellcasting text on her sheet yet, because you don't know the details of her spellcasting. But it's fine. We know that it's
That's fine.
22 hits, and she will take
Alright,
the thunder, and it will take the thunder damage.
does
Blasted
it
back.
add charisma or anything else?
It does not add charisma to the damage. No. John. You can't really see the silverfish from over here. There's a 15-foot tall mound in front of you.
Yeah. Probably untarget those two, or I accidentally deal damage to them. Just double checking what I can do here.
I believe in you.
I have extra attack and action surge, don't I?
You do. You should have both now.
Awesome. Yeah. I was just double checking. So those guys, that one's still in the air. How far away is that one? Oh, still ways. So, this Verdant Everbloom lets me cast some spells. Two of them don't pop up when I click on the button. Ensnaring, Strike, and Guardian of Nature. So I don't know what they do.
They pop up for me, so they must be from a book that you haven't loaded. Let me look them up real quick. Guardian of Nature. Made it public. Looks like it wasn't properly shared for some reason. And then Ensnare. Is also shared. You should be able to click on them now.
Awesome.
Then you can just, for the moment, you can throw them into your inventory and then rename their category to Everbloom. As you use the Spring Bloom spellcasting. DC 15, spell attack plus 7. Which are you casting? Assuming you still want to cast one of the spells.
Yeah, I was thinking about casting Spike Growth. It is a 20-foot radius thing. I can cast... Probably move that over a bit so Doug's not in it. Centered on a point within range. Twists and sprouts, hard spikes and thorns. The air becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet traveled. I'm actually going to move that right there. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast makes a wisdom check against your spell DC. So I'm going to cast that there.
I'm going to say that piercing damage is probably considered magical because it's from a spell. Alright. You pull out the sword for the first time that you're properly using. As it resonates in your hand, you feel it vibrate in a very light manner. I guess not vibrate, but it pulses slightly as you cast the spell, as the green blade glows. And then there is a small green mote of light that appears in the sand on the other side of the dune, as these sandy cactus-like vines sprout up around the area.
I'm also going to move.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to say it's just full-on straight cactus field now.
Weed. Cactus. Awesome. Well, that's me done.
Yep. You can apply that spell to yourself if you want to be able to do like add concentration and stuff for it, or we can just track whenever you get hit. Sulfurfish is 13. Which one is that? That is the big one, which means it's going to take, let's see. To get out, it's going to move through 5, 10, 15, 20. So you can hit it 4 times. So 4 times 2, you're going to have 8d4 piercing damage to it.
Eight D4.
Yep. As it gets here.
Plonk.
Here. Takes
Wow.
22 points. It looks like it is trying to resist. Because that brings up the question of whether or not it's considered magical, but I'm going to say yes. It is going to take another 11, bring it down to 35, which is just at the half that it needs. So I'm going to say it can stay in its serpent form for the moment. Gambit. There's something within 20 feet of you.
I shoot it.
Pow! Shoot at the sulfurfish before it can do it, as you see as it moves up this serpentine form, as this burning light begins to glow within the giant maw in front of Doug, pointing toward Doug and Garand. As it glows upward.
I have advantage, right?
Yes, because you're hidden.
That's not the right one. At Swarm of Stew 13?
Yep, Swarm of Sulfurfish
Swarm of-
13. They're like silverfish, but
Oh my
they're
word.
sulfurfish. Hey,
That's
it
crazy.
hits. Damage is damage.
Okay.
You dropped a 5, another
Damage.
5.
Okay. You get down. That's right. I'm pretty sure. I didn't do it correctly!
Unfortunately, you did not. Add the 46 and just roll damage again. I will re-give it back. It's 13.
Okay.
Besides, the 13 is perfectly average.
No!
Don't give it sneak attack. You've already got sneak attack applied to yourself.
A 4d6? Is that what
You
you want me to
technically
do?
have 2 of them on, so let me go ahead and remove 1 so it's not rolling 8d6.
Okay.
You're good to make the attack.
Damage roll.
Oh yeah, damage roll. Dealing 23 points of damage as you shoot through it, as it tears out the back end, and there is a burst of flame outward the backside as it, whatever amount of, what's the word, as whatever amount of fire and pressure had built up explodes back outward, sending some of the silverfish flying and disintegrating, as it will shrink in size, having lost its capability to assume a larger form, as it goes down into just a swarm of the small sulfur fish, still terrifying, still horrible, which will begin to make fire lash attacks at Doug. It will not be able to use its flame torrent.
With the can he switch with his shadow?
I think that is something he has to do as a bonus action.
Okay.
I think there might be a defensive thing that the shadow can do, but that might be something at a higher
It's fine.
level. I don't know, I'd have to look at Manifest Echo. I haven't looked closely at it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a later thing where you can have a tank and attack for you. But the first one still misses with an auto miss as Doug is able to slide away as they're getting footing.
1 or
But
20. Why is it going to be? Let's lucky that.
yeah, probably a good decision.
1 or 20. Good grief.
Still rolls a 19. As
But
they
at
begin
least
to
it's not
crawl
a crit.
over him as he is slipping in the muddy sand. Let's see. They should be. Okay, how much? Which do?
At least it's not a crit, so.
It's gonna deal some fire damage. Deals 8 points of fire damage.
Huh?
Swarm of Silverfish 1 is going to move 5 feet to get out of the spikes. Go ahead and roll the 2d4 piercing for Silverfish 1.
Can he make an op attack through his shadow?
He can. Sam, I need you to roll the 2d4 piercing.
Yes. Just 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Just the 2d4. He was able to make 5 feet of movement to get out of the area and then go around. Okay, Frost Point. I think you have to make a melee attack, and if he's holding the bow, he might need to make an unarmed strike. But I think he has good unarmed strike.
Can I roll disadvantage?
You can roll disadvantage to shoot with the Frost Point. Alright, so you hit anyway. Go ahead and roll the Frost Point damage. And you rolled 3 for spike growth. It should not have resisted, so it's going to take slightly more than it had. Deals 8 points. Why is it resistant? Does it resist cold? Oh, that's why. Because they're a swarm, it doesn't matter if it's magical. They just resist bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Yeah, they should resist almost everything, which is why I was surprised that they were not vulnerable to the AoE from earlier.
Yeah, they aren't because they're made of fire. Well, not really made of fire, but they have a lot of fire. Anywho, as it moves forward, did it take the damage? It did. It resisted it down to 4 from where it was here, so it should be there. I think that's the correct amount of health. Anywho, as it moves up in golem form, it is going to make 2 slam attacks. First one as it bears down over you, or I guess more head-to-head. A total of 20.
It's fine, Doug.
Doug tanks 15 total damage split between fire, necrotic, and bludgeoning from the first strike as it punches down. The second attack, swinging wildly as this thing doesn't have a lot of intentionality to its attacks. As it just swings wildly, he just ducks underneath the second one. Gambit. You poke your head out of the sand.
Is there anyone in range?
Both silverfish swarms.
The swarms.
Which do resist the piercing, even if it's magic, but you can still do good damage.
And they resist fire, right?
They do.
You
also know that as a general rule... It's rough, man.
Fire and piercing.
You also know that as a
Do I
general
have
rule,
sneak
Grimm
attack?
resists necrotic. You can get sneak attack on one of the ones rolling normally next to him, or you could try to move, hide, and then get sneak attack with advantage.
I will move over 1. Hide. No. Oh, don't want to move that way. Oh. I'll move
You
over
think about moving that
Yeah.
way, realize you don't want to,
One.
and then move somewhere else.
I'm going for 13. Again.
Okay.
5. Are you serious?
Woof.
You should have advantage because you're hidden, assuming you make another stealth check. But you do need to make a stealth check to make sure you.
I did.
Oh, that
That's
was
the
your stealth check. My bad. Yeah. Okay. You need to make the wisdom save as well.
Are you at the level where if you roll less than 10, you still get 10?
No. I think that.
Okay.
I don't think so, at least. I feel like that's level 11 too, but I can. I don't see it on the sheet, so I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
But you do succeed. You are successfully hidden. Go ahead and roll your
Okay.
attack with advantage.
Attack with advantage.
I need to check a class thing.
Advantage. Attack.
Yeah, she knows that many.
Are you kidding me? Something must be up with the randomizer tonight.
Yeah, it just doesn't like you, as despite your successful hiding, you attempt to shoot through it, but trying to shoot along the ground with the movement of the sand and how short and small these things are, you have a hard time getting any of them in it as it flies harmlessly over into the dune behind them. That is... Unless you have somewhere else to move?
Nope.
Okay.
You could
Terex.
possibly always that way you're at least covered by you're at least protected. Up to you.
Terex 9 is going to shoot Tailspines. It's going to fly down at 20 feet over and shoot Tailspines Ekarond.
How dare he?
Hit. Miss. Hit.
Alright, so 2 concentration checks.
So you take a total of 20 points of damage as 2 of these bone-like spines strike toward you as you pull up your aura to bounce them pretty much harmlessly off to the side, but consume energy to do so.
Alright, that burned
It's
off.
going
then.
to fly. Let's see. It went down 20, 15. It's going to fly back up to 60 feet in the air. Doug.
Alright, I think at this point Doug would switch. But let's go to switch Scorching Solarium.
Oh, you mean the weapon, not the echo? Okay.
And then he can cast Dawn.
Is that for cleaning the duckies?
Yes, he can cast Dawn. You should have it available.
Alright, so and that's gonna get all 3 of them, right?
Probably not. You could try, if you move out of the way and provoke opportunity attacks, yes, you could get all 3 of them without hitting anyone.
That's a
It is a
30-foot radius,
large...
30-foot radius, bro. That's a lot.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a big spell.
I can't see how it hits all of them from right there.
Well,
And
that's
it's
the
40
thing,
foot
is
up.
it's not selected. If you hit it here, you're hitting Doug too.
Ah.
So, there also is a height to it. I need to check the Dawn height because it might not be tall enough. It's a 40-foot high cylinder, so you won't be able to hit both the Sulfurfish and the Terex, unfortunately. It's too high up.
Okay. What about Daylight?
Daylight does not do damage, unfortunately. It creates sunlight, but it doesn't do damage.
But it's gonna hurt them because they're Grimm. In some way, like we'll have advantage on them, or they'll have disadvantage, or something else like that, right?
Maybe?
All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens with Daylight. He casts Daylight.
from the blade as daylight bursts outward. Gambit, you know that you could use your daylight sword or your sun sword and deal the extra 1d6 radiant. Does not begin to burn away the sulfurfish or anything now.
Do they look any more vulnerable?
It does not seem to be now.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, but we'll go with that for now. And I guess I will. Where is it?
Random encounters are a great time to test things.
I will second wind.
Okay. And thicket.
Let's go, Doug. Max heals.
What do you want to target? Thicket?
What are you talking about?
So I do believe you can bonus action lightning,
Okay.
so
What?
have fun.
Oh, I can. I forgot I can do that.
You're welcome. I'm a kind
I can't do it twice in one turn, though.
Correct.
Right?
If you use your bonus action, you cannot use your action to do it again.
Even with the spell regulator.
Even with the spell regulator. Spell regulator lets you do other stuff as well, but it's still restricted to once per turn for the effect.
Okay. Let's see here. God, I can do anything that doesn't require concentration.
Uh-huh.
Cantrips. You can do cantrips. You could
I can do
heal.
spells too.
You could heal.
Let's see here. Firstly, I want to hit Swarm of Sulfurfish 1 and Terex 9 if I can. Hit them both.
I'm gonna say probably.
The bolt goes straight down, right? So theoretically, the vertical shouldn't make a difference.
I'm gonna say probably not.
They're right next to each other.
They're 5 feet away. It's 5 foot radius. Make a wisdom check.
It's not a 5 foot radius. It's a point. It's within 5 feet from the point.
Which is 5 feet radius. That's the same. But either way, they are within a 5 foot radius of the lightning bolt, but not necessarily of the point. So there's an argument there to be made. I see but he's giving you chances, so it's fine. Take it.
What did you say I should roll?
Wisdom check. Spellcasting ability. Yeah, you can hit both. I love it. Especially with the storm overhead, you can kind of angle it a little bit to where it's going a little bit off, like, for this side, so it hits along through there with the 60 feet and down into the other. I wasn't asking for a high check, I was just asking for a check. The flyer fails, the sulfurfish succeed as they scatter a bit from the lightning, as it ashes and glasses some of the sand beneath them.
Will it automatically do the half damage?
Yes. It should. Yay, it did. As it takes 8 points of damage to the swarm and 17 to the Terex.
Okay, and then I'm going to Healing Word around.
Okay, because the regulator technically says you can use a bonus action, so in this case you're choosing to use your action and then bonus action Healing Word.
It's just a normal turn.
Yeah. I know, I'm not used to normal turns, you know? Where you choose to use an action to lightning instead of bonus action, you know?
I'm gonna say don't die. Don't die,
That's
Garon.
right. I really don't want to. Thank you. All right. Okay, I'm still trying to focus fire, but that last bit hurt me, so I'm trying something else, and I will then summon my little Storm Phoenix Guardians.
You summon yet more Pokemon.
Yep. And I will go this way right here. So I don't know if Terex 9 will be in range of it because it's only 15 feet and he might be way above 15 feet.
Yeah, he is
but
60
I know
feet in the air.
Okay, I was gonna say I know the other two are in it. So if he comes down, then we can worry about it then. But I know the other two are on it.
Yeah. They both fail. They both take damage. Taking 14 and 12. Breaking Silverfish 1 out of its golem form as it falls into the individual fish that are just swarming together.
All right, and then the other thing I'm going to do is Mental Inspiration, giving temporary, and it is 5 temps. So here we go, some temps. Let's go ahead and temp up some fam. You are just in range, John.
Sweet.
Jackie barks
I don't
happily
think
as she
it-
feels
yeah.
inspired and sees you
Okay.
look all fun.
Anybody who chooses to can make a reaction to move. So
Yes.
Jackie will go ahead and make her reaction to move.
It's up to movement speed, but there is difficult terrain, so you're capped at 15.
Yeah, so you're happy.
Unfortunately for you.
So sad.
You want there?
We'll say that Doug will just go over
Or you want
here.
here?
I don't. Yeah, right there's fine.
You both can move if you want to. I don't know if you want to or not, though. Gambit and Thicket.
I'm good.
I'm fine.
And that is my turn.
Make another charisma check for Jackie.
Sounds good.
So as she looks to you and looks to Thicket, looks to the storm, and you can see her tail is wagging as she's seemingly enjoying or excited at seeing you all do this cool stuff and is not afraid of the storm, interestingly enough. As she leans down as though she's going to get ready for her bark, you hear her growl, and you see Garand as she growls kind of downward getting ready for it. You see this greenish liquid seem to seep from part of her teeth, and as she breathes out, this bits of flame that come outward, and what looks like almost frost appearing on the sand beneath her, but as she opens her mouth, there begins to spark as a ball of lightning grows in her mouth, and you need to make a spell attack against the Terex.
Okay, so range spell attacks. We'll go up here. We'll do that.
She hits. She is going to deal 3d8 lightning damage,
Let's go.
as she seems to be unlocking a new spell. Chromatic Orb.
Let's go.
Nice.
I don't know why it counted as dust. There we go.
That's okay. As this ball of lightning flies into the air and strikes into the Terex. Not dealing as much as you and Thicket are, but she seems to be doing her best, and she wags her tail as she looks over at you.
No, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl?
It's another spell accessed. I need to make sure it goes on the sheet properly. Who knows how many more she can access, or where they're coming from. John!
Clearly, that flower was super.
All right.
good.
So
Clearly there was something to it.
I'm gonna move here. Hold on.
Let's not put ourselves in too much of an AoE option.
No,
You think these guys have AoEs?
It's gonna be mid-air here. I'm gonna cast Shatter at 4th level.
Ooh, let's go.
So that does 5d8 thunder damage on a failed save. It's a 10-foot sphere, so it's gonna be
It's just gonna be the
basically,
Terex.
yeah.
Sounds great. Roll the attack, or rather, make it save.
Where'd it go?
And yes,
Wow.
I do understand with your. That's cool. I do understand your difficulties getting used to the UI.
So it takes half as much.
Takes half as much. You are just fine working with the AI, Jocelyn. It is not AI, UI.
UI,
Is it
I don't know
half down to
why-
13 as it explodes,
Yeah.
spraying bits of the Grimm bone into the air? Yeah, it's not all of its most intuitive. I think that is probably the least intuitive part of it.
yeah.
Is the powers thing. Sulfurfish 13 is gonna
Gonna take some damage.
take damage. Is it when you cast or at their turn?
Whenever they enter, and at the start of each of their turn that they're in it.
Gross. Okay. It succeeds. Good for it.
Well, take half anyway.
Takes half, moves out, and it's gonna, with what's left of it, as there are a total of like 4 sulfurfish left in this swarm, is going to attack Doug. Miss. It's doing its best,
Woohoo!
man. Sulfurfish 1, make the same thing. It
Another
fails.
save. It is what it is.
It fails on a 16? Is your DC really
Yeah, I have
sick?
a ridiculous save, man.
Yeah, man, dang. Alright, does it take
My proficiency is 4. Hey, check it out. My proficiency is 4. My charisma is 20, so that's putting me at a 17.
Oh, that'll do
And
it.
then is there any? Then you may have given me an item along the way. I can't remember, but I think maybe not. But
Critical Fire Lash. Nah, you don't have any items. It's just that you've got enough of a bonus that your plus 9 is fucking hard.
that's right. That's what we want to see. Let's go.
It crits on Doug. The like 2 sulfurfish that are left. in
He's
this
out
other
of
swarm.
what he can do about it. But I mean, I did give him 5 temp.
Yeah. He takes 17 damage.
Yeah, he's still
Basically
at like
entire fire.
he's still at like 3/4 of his health, so he's fine. He's happy with it.
Yeah.
It is your turn. You can stab, you can cut, you can even shoot into the sky. Granted, the shooting into the sky would be at disadvantage.
I'm gonna hide.
That's
No. I'm not. Not yet. What is this? So far, fish 13 is still up.
They're both
Yeah.
up. There are like 2 of them.
I'm moving over here.
Sulfurfish.
Is there like a dead body over here?
No, because Grimm ashed away, so the Terex that fell pretty much ashed. Well, I mean, I guess it probably still would be. So there's a little bit of a Terex still disintegrating because it takes over the course of like 15 seconds for them to
Anyway.
disintegrate.
I'm gonna hide. Are you serious?
There you are.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, look at it this way: you rolled a 2, and you're still above their passive perception. So
Yeah, whatever.
Make that wisdom save, right?
Do I have advantage now?
yes, you do need to make the wisdom save, but you're probably going to succeed. Probably.
Probably not. Oh, whoopsies! I didn't mean to make that with advantage.
You both of them were enough. You're fine. Now
Okay.
you can make your gun attack. Might need to invest in more bullets at some point, though. You have a 9.
Does blue mean that they're used or that they're available?
Blue means that they're used. You have 9
Oh
left.
yeah, I do. Better make them count.
Ciao.
Finally.
Definitely hits.
Add evasion, yeah.
Oh wait, that's the wrong. Incorrect. Incorrect. Why didn't it work?
You didn't add it to yourself. You only added evasion to yourself.
Oh. That's me.
It's fine. It was enough damage. As you shoot through what's left of those silverfish, as each individual creature, as their each individual Grimm begin to fade away, the Terex is going to fly downward.
Will he get within 15 feet of me or no?
I should have decided. Odds, yes. Evens, no. Evens, no. Sorry, fam. He's going to fly down to 40 feet and is going to shoot tailspines at you.
It's fine. I don't know what, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Nice.
2 hits.
Worse.
alright, so that's 2 saves.
Yeah, they should come up when you take the damage, though. So you take 18 total points of damage. Your aura has yet to flicker. So that is the Terex. Oh, it's going to fly 20 feet back up because it can. Yeah.
Doug is going to... Did anything happen with Daylight? Did it seem to make them weaker in any way or anything else?
Make an investigation check and an arcana check.
Alright, good luck, Doug. Arcana... Investigate...
Arcana, who knows? Though technically that would have been a religion, but you rolled a 1 just the same. Investigation, you can tell no difference.
Okay. Alright, well, he's still going to try to attack the Sulphurfish 1 with the Scorching Solarium. So, attack 1.
Hits.
A hit. No. Miss.
Hits.
Hit.
As he cuts through the 2 remaining sulfurfish.
He wants to make extra sure that they don't come back. Oh, wait, they're super dead. You can't even target them with damage, so.
Yeah.
Alright.
Pick it.
Then he's going to send his thing flying up towards it, so that way eventually he can melee attack it.
Fair enough. I think I can assume one of the things that it wants to do. But you can do whatever you want with the rest of it.
I cast Cold Lightning. Bow.
It succeeds, but it still takes half. Damage is damage. Whoop. Takes 10 points of damage as the lightning pierces through it. Zapping and zipping. Zippity-doo-dying.
How hurt does it look?
Real bad.
I'm gonna use my circlet of blasting.
Yeah. Last circletly.
Okay, that is 3.
As you use the
One.
ruby, the garnet and copper necklace for the first time in a while. At least a week in game. Yow.
Like ages.
It doesn't come out super often. He's usually got lightning to use. Fortunately, the second beam misses, and the third ray, rather, hits. As the
Nice.
3 shots of fire pierce through it, as it begins to burn up and ash away as it strikes into the ground, the fire being put out by the water and the mud, but still all the Grimm ash away around you. As you take a deep breath after the fight, gathering yourselves, celebrating the new trick it seems that Jackie's able to pull off.
Woohoo! Good.
She enjoys the praise for doing a good job. You would continue on your way. Going to talk us through the rest of the path since we already rolled all the things for it. As you would eventually make your way to Kokinia. As we're getting into Kokinia, into the edge of this city, as you approach, you would see the city partially built into the western side of a fairly large, I guess, mountain range or steps or whatever it would be. These tall pillars of sandstone making into a sort of a mountain range. As you come close to this city, you see the very notable feature of its its fairly high walls of sandstone around the sides. Well guarded, some different battlements facing outward from the city itself. It does seem to be fairly wide, though. This probably 25 foot high sandstone walls, maybe 30 feet tall, gathering around. Not like the crazy 200 feet super sized walls, nothing like that. But a solid 25, 30 feet tall sandstone walls around the edge with various battlements as you approach the front gate, where you see other people as it's coming toward the end of the day, as it would be the end of the day on the 10th of August, coming into the 6 p.m. in the evening. You would notice the buildings inside of the town are tall enough to be seen from over the walls, or at least some of them, especially as you approach. Though as you get up close, you notice there seems to be an intentional not clear shot or vision to a lot of the buildings. There are along the walls at various points what looks to be archer lines, or these slits in the walls that archers could shoot out of while being fairly protected. And along the walls, especially around the front of the gate, you would see that there are these large banners of this crimson coloration. And it occurs to me I didn't grab the thing, I didn't make the thing that I want, so I'm going to have to do that for next week. These crimson banners with...
And
these crimson banners with these largely red, it seems to be designed using bits of white to accent and display, but these crimson flowers, or these clear outlines of flowers in the banners as you have reached the city of Kokinia.
all right, let's go. We're getting some good story. Congrats.
Duck,
Check.
duck, duck, duck.
Duck. I believe in duck.
All right, so XP, we're level 11 now. Great, good job.
Yay!
Something like that.
Why does it say I'm dead? Oh, it's just a token.
Everyone gets 1,000 experience points. Jackie gets 200. Or I'll say 250.
Oh my god. Ew, that means she's almost level.
You would think.
Yeah, I have no idea how you're doing her stuff, so it's whatever. But, having fun.
She's getting a fourth of your experience, functionally, so that's part of it. But she might be, depending on what level she is right now.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you think she has at this point.
Man, I don't know. She seems like she's like a fey creature now, or some other like part elemental or something else. She basically seems like a sorcerer of a type.
An interesting thing to note. Charisma casting, Orb. Wonder what that could be.
be hilarious.
No idea.
Is if she's a warlock and I'm her patron without knowing it, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be adorable.
She's like bound herself to me, and I'm just giving her power as like a conduit of Decim. It'd be hilarious.
But it's gonna be fun when you're like, I want her to use a thing that takes a spell slot, because you don't see your spell slots right now, because you haven't learned that information.
Sure haven't.
And so when I'll say like, nope, she doesn't have anymore.
It's good times.
I'll go ahead and end the recording side here. It is a little late for us, so we can move on about our day and people can leave whenever they're comfortable. Thank you so much for coming and watching. We appreciate you. I'm glad to have the internet back up, and we'll be back with you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Don't forget to full rest us, man.